to fix that. Hey, get water. Thank you. Oh, tell me if I'm on Facebook, please. You're all right. 604 Talk 1073 FM, WBRP Mornings with Brian Haldane, off and running. Oh, my word. Brian here with you. Bray Lynn is back in studio. I am not in studio. I am up in Monroe, Louisiana. The mayor of Monroe, Friday Ellis, good friend of the show, brought me up here. They're hosting the Louisiana Municipal Association's annual conference. They said, Brian, you got to come on up, see what we're doing in Monroe, get a little feel of what the LMA conference is all about and how we can replicate economic growth around the state. Yeah, they've got a head start with Meta in their backyard, but what can we do elsewhere? So I have left the friendly confines of the 180 Pros studio to take the show on the road this morning, and we've got a rip-roaring show for you. Going to be 3 solid hours of guests, 3 solid hours of making everything happen, covering it from top to bottom. And that does include Mayor Friday Ellis. He'll be on with us. We got a stack of guests. Too many to give you the rundown right now, because right now we are going to start off with top stories and trending. We are learning more information about a couple in Point Coupee Parish facing charges following the death of their 10-month-old daughter. I'm not going to run through all the history. Our news partners over at WBRZ has it if you want to read the whole thing. But the family, specifically the baby's father, Joseph Jackson, has a lengthy list of previous charges. While in Point Coupee Parish, how about a little bit better news? Yeah, we'll roll with that. The school board members broke ground on a new office yesterday evening. That new building will be constructed at the former site of the LaBar Elementary School in New Roads, which was torn down specifically for this project. A ribbon cutting was held for the Cook Road Extension project out in Livingston Parish. That road now connects Pete's Highway to Jubin Road and is expected to help traffic flow around I-12. That stretch right there gets jammed up really, really good. The project dates back to 2014 and had to be redesigned after the 2016 floods to address drainage concerns at the height of the roadway. We are now in week 4 of me closing out stories when I don't need to be closing them out. We are now in week 4 of the search for Jadarius Manyweather's body at a Baton Rouge landfill. It has entered its 4th week. Dozens of local and state police working alongside FBI specialists along the way. We've talked to TJ Morse about this. We've talked to Mayor Edwards about this. Both of them said it would be an extremely long, tedious process with the hope of any ounce of closure at all. The partnership, the Greater Baton Rouge Economic Partnership, is now officially in their search. They announced yesterday they've launched a national search for the next president and CEO. The organization's current 5-year strategic plan concludes at the end of this year, giving the incoming leader an opportunity to work with the board of directors, investors, staff, and regional partners to develop the organization's next strategic plan. Here we go. Got out of judiciary after they pulled the weaponization fund out of there, which if it had that much trouble getting out of the Judiciary Committee, one would have to imagine clearing the full Senate is going to have the same level of trouble. It's going to be a lot of eyes on Louisiana for this one, Breland, because, well, here's why. What reason would Bill Cassidy have to give Donald Trump his AG when Bill Cassidy has been shown the door by Donald Trump? So, well, and he is Cassidy, Susan Collins, and a handful of other Republicans are going to be in question here. I shouldn't say I don't think Cassidy would not approve the nomination, because I didn't think Cassidy would vote for the impeachment either, but that's neither here nor there at this point. But that's going to be one of the major talking points along the way, is what is Bill Cassidy's take going to be? Is it going to be a big, bird finger on the way out the door, or will he vote to approve? I mean, well, so is it, does Donald Trump need a new theme song? Well, no, I think no, I'm thinking Kelly Clarkson. Come on, Breland. Fill in the blank. Come on, come on. It's not on your country charts. I'm not gonna sing it. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Come on. Come on. See, it's harder when I'm not in studio because we're not across. So you can't right, right. So yeah, how hilarious would that be if Donald Trump just started showing up on stage with "What doesn't kill you makes you stronger"? Well, no, do the dance to the kill. That song was written for the Donald Trump dance. Come on. The baby. So I'm assuming the speculation is going to be that this is another hint towards global warming. I'm assuming the speculate. No, well, hear me out. Hear me out. Because why would tiger sharks be migrating further north unless the water was warmer that they were comfortable in? Especially this just a baby. It's a baby shark. Do. It's a baby shark at 5 foot. I mean, it'll still mess you up. A 5 foot tiger shark will still do damage, but that's not a grown. That's not. It's a juvenile shark. That's not a juvenile shark. Back that thing up. It's sorry. I'm in a weird. I'm on the road. I'm out of the friendly confines of the 180 Pro studio. It's going to be a weird show. No, it's actually gonna be a great show, y'all. The rundown's in my bag. I'm not gonna get up and walk over to my bag to get you the rundown. I'm gonna do that during the break. Um, but yeah, you take wildlife out of their normal habitat, move them to a different habitat. That's because the habitat is adapting. So I can actually hear the argument that the seas are warmer now, and I mean, I'm sure there's empirical data that can back that up. That the water, the juvenile shark, man. Dang it, Brian. All right, sorry. Cut, take two. Just edit this in post, right? Okay, so I'm sure there's empirical data that can back up the assertion that a tiger shark would travel further north because the water is warmer. There, I got the full sentence out of my mouth. Oh my gosh, that was an effort. Also true. Also true. Where there's a baby, there's a mama. Jaws 3 taught us that. I don't know if that was a great opening segment or a terrible opening segment. It was one of the two. There was no in between on that. The good news is we're done with it. So, well, aside from me reminding you about the Baton Rouge Metro Airport, flybtr.com is the website, flybtr.com. Making your travel plans for LSU football, which, by the way, camp starts today. More on that when we get back from our break. If you're making your plans for LSU football, the good folks at Delta, well, they've got connections here in Monroe. The good folks at Delta have built out flights to take you to Lexington, to take you to Knoxville, or to bring friends in from Clemson, to bring from Clinton, bring friends in from Alabama and from Texas as well. Learn more at flybtr.com. Y'all know I'm a big fan of that daily flight to Reagan National, that daily flight into our nation's capital. You get your business done and get out of there before the swamp sucks you in. Learn more at flybtr.com. I mean, oh, she definitely is. She's in full work mode. So, Facebook can't hear you. Keith says Facebook can't hear Breland in Facebook Live. Well, that was 609. Oh, oh. Wait. It's no, because if I'm hearing you, Facebook should be hearing you. Everything I hear, Facebook should hear. No, it's not on your end. It can't be on your end because the Facebook is feeding from my laptop. Correct. Let me put my jacket on. Be professional. Cancel that. Not hearing Brie Lynn. No, because that means nothing from the studio is going to be heard. Hang on. Output. It's right. It is right where it's supposed to be. Everything is where it's supposed to be. Wait, do what? Okay. It is 6:16 at Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Sports time here on Mornings with Brian Haldane. And we are going to start off with LSU football as camp gets underway today. If you could pull me out of my own ear, I'm hearing the reverb there. LSU football begins preseason camp today. This is, of course, the first preseason camp under head coach Lane Kiffin. Our news partners at Louisiana Radio Network talked with Preston Guy from TigerBait.com, says there's a lot of questions surrounding Kiffin's first LSU go, most of which deal with the overall chemistry. Cut 13, please. I can't hear it. I can't hear the cut. Breland? Breland, are you there? Are we still connected? Hello? Yeah. Yeah, I can't hear it, so I don't know when it's over. Are we still on the air? Okay, fantastic. Well, keeping with it, Guy says one of the pivoting over, guys talking about the offensive line. Preston Guy from TigerBait.com talking about the offensive line. He says the offensive line is not exactly a positive with this team. One more from Preston Guy. He says this LSU team is solid overall. I mean, you got a really good roster. Problem is, a lot of the teams on their schedule are also really good rosters. So September 5th is, of course, kickoff against Clemson, and we'll see where this Tiger team can go. There's a lot of high hopes in Baton Rouge, to be sure. My apologies for those technical difficulties right there. I know you heard it just fine. I didn't hear it just fine. But here's the thing: I don't know if y'all could hear this or not. At the very same time that the studio disappeared on my end, Keith Sweat started in on my end in the lobby here. So it was just weird timing where it twisted, by the way. If you're not hearing it on air, I sound like an idiot. Twisted by Keith Sweat is just blasting through the lobby right now. It's awesome. I mean, the staff's getting ready for a big day. So just like at the exact same time. Here's the Fox Business Report. I don't know. No, I heard the second and third cuts. I did not hear the first cut. So whatever you changed, you fixed. Do what? I'm in a break. You talk. Okay, thank you. It was like right in the middle of the day. You're all good. It was this, and this happens everywhere, like literally everywhere. The staff needs a little boost to start off the morning. I totally I get it. That's perfect where it's at, by the way. Right now, yeah. Awesome. Thank you. Facebook, tell me, are you hearing Bree Lynn yet? Everything is right where it was when we left New Orleans. When we left, because I packed it all up. The kit has not been touched since the Education Summit in June. I don't understand it. Well, that's me. All right, time to head back to the Talk 107.3 Traffic Center. Give me just a quick second, because once again, outside of the home base right now. So when I pull up traffic maps, they're giving me what I'm getting locally. If y'all want to know Monroe's traffic, I can give it to you real quick. If you want to get Baton Rouge, give me just one more quick second. My apologies. Here we go. We are looking at this morning your normal congestion on I-12 westbound coming in from Livingston Parish might add about 3 or 4 minutes to your drive if you're coming in from Denham Springs. Outside of that, everything is golden on the interstates. I-10 westbound coming in from Ascension Parish looks great, as does 10 eastbound coming back across from the west side. Now, just a reminder, and there are no surface street accidents reported this time. Now, just a quick reminder is as the week wears on, more and more schools are going to be getting back in. As more and more schools get back in, we're going to be seeing more traffic on the road. So get ready for that stack up to start happening. You're going to have a lot more friends and neighbors out on the road with you, a lot less elbow room as you're making your way through your morning commute. That's your look at traffic from the Talk 107.3 Traffic Center. It is 6:23, rolling over to 6:24, Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Friday, Ellis, the mayor of Monroe, gracious enough on behalf of the city of Monroe, bringing us up to the LMA conference, the Louisiana Municipal Association. We'll be broadcasting live from here 6 till 9 this morning, the normal morning show time, and of course, the normal morning show time tomorrow morning as well. Now, along with the LMA conference, which is going on, and we're right outside of the big event center where all of the exhibitors are going to be. Along with the LMA conference, there's going to be a number of check-ins with qualifying. Qualifying is going on right now. In fact, it opens up today. Well, qualifying will start in a couple of hours, starting today, running through Friday for the 5th Congressional District, for the 6th Congressional District. Both of these matter in our backyard. Both of these matter in Baton Rouge. So we're going to check in. I know we have check-in scheduled with Mike Eccles, Stuart Cathy, and Rick Edmonds so far. We're going to see where that takes us after that. A few folks might have to wait till next week because I'm taking Friday off. And as a programming heads up, looking forward to Friday. Wanted to let you know the premiere, the very first ever Sadvocate Radio. The boys from the Sadvocate are coming in on Friday as I'll be traveling back from Monroe back to Baton Rouge. So looking forward to that. But a lot of LMA convention, a lot of Monroe, a lot of Meta, a lot of Entergy, a lot of what's going on up here and how it affects us back home. So that is where we're at this morning, since we are not in the 180 Pros studio. Coming up in our next segment, we're going to be talking with J. Richard Williams, Executive Director for the Louisiana Municipal Association. Oh, and the Mayor of Broussard, Ray Bork, is going to be in with us. He's been on the show a couple of times. Glad to finally have him in person. That'll be coming up in our next segment. Also this hour, before we get you out, Savannah Morris is the Executive Director of the Richland Chamber of Commerce, as they're just, trying to spend teacher bonuses everywhere you turn around. Richland's so flush right now, thanks to Meta. All right, we got a lot of ground to cover here. Breitland, can you grab a couple cuts for me while we're in this segment, if you don't mind? And we'll just keep it moving. Talking about qualifying, this has been an unbelievably weird year because we moved to the partially closed primaries for federal elections, whether you're talking to Senate, House, and there's a couple of other seats that fall under that. So qualifying for the ballot on the U.S. House of Representatives gets underway today. We're an hour and 34 minutes away from things opening up on that front. Now, this already took place back in February, but if you'll recall, those were under previous maps. So they had to shut that down, cancel the election. Supreme Court ruled the state's previous congressional map was unconstitutional, which we all knew, by the way. It was totally gerrymandered. Pearson Cross is a political science professor with UL Monroe. I might have to go see him today because I'm up here. Pearson Cross, a ULM political science professor, says, with districts 5 and 6 open, there's a few wild cards here. Cut 10, please. Not hearing it. Cross says the decision as to which district Blake Miguez will ultimately run in has been a closely guarded secret ever since the original House closed primaries were canceled. Cut 11. I think it would be. And he's going to have an uphill battle because Rick Edmonds has himself a team, y'all. Rick Edmonds has got himself a squad, a cadre, a veritable force, an A team of advisors, an A team of support, an A team of financial backing. And you say, Miguez has got $6 million in the bank, which is true. How much of that can you actually spend in a congressional race in Baton Rouge? I mean, granted, I work in an advertising-based platform. I will take the challenge. I'll take all the dollars for sure, but I don't think it's going to take $6 million to win this. It's going to take about $1.5 million to $2 million. $1.5 million to $2 million gets it done. $1.5 million to $2 million floods the market with your messaging along the way. So, if you're Blake Miguez, do you look at the 5th and say I'm even further away from home? Do you look at the 5th and say I don't even have my Baton Rouge ties on that end? Or do you look at the 6th and say, I've been making inroads in Baton Rouge. I've been making inroads in South Downs. St. Aloysius is where he's going to church these days. So you take those inroads. And Miguez has always had ties to Baton Rouge, but hasn't been from Baton Rouge. But as he's growing himself here, not here, I'm up in Monroe, but as he's growing himself in the capital city, the 6th Congressional District would be more like home than the 5th would. He'd have to move out to, Denham or points beyond to fit in there. So if he wants to have a quote unquote home base, the 6th would make so much more sense for him than the 5th would. Meanwhile, let's go get one more from Pearson Cross. If we could hit up cut 12. Cross says, as far as you get away from the 5th or the 6th, it's pretty cut and dry. Yeah, and that's going to be a no-brainer from start to finish. Those 4 races are fait accompli, as it were. I am curious about the 5th because it is going to be a 3-horse race between Stuart Cathy, Mike Eccles, and Gabe Furman. And you've got 3 guys with a lot of behind-the-scenes backing. You've got 3 guys with a lot of on-the-record voting that they can lean on. They've got strong resumes, and they're all going to be very, very good candidates. So we will, as always, we will be following it. Qualifying opens in an hour and a half. Let me remind you about 180 Pros. 180pros.com is the website. I am away from the friendly confines of the 180 Pros studio this morning, but nonetheless, as an IT partner, if you're a small business out there, you don't want an IT provider, you want an IT partner. You want someone who not only just answers calls, but collaborates with you on the front end. It's so much easier to solve things on the back end when you do it right on the front end. Give them a look at 180pros.com or give them a call at 330-2200, 330-2200, 180 Pros. Like I said, not your IT provider. They are your IT partner. Simplified billing, cybersecurity, building out networks, social media collaboration, AI, all of it over there at 180pros.com. All right, we got ABC News coming your way on the way back in. We're going to talk with the LMA. We're going to talk with the Mayor Broussard. That's next. We clear? Hey, okay. Do we know what pot do the sound bites come out of? It's 1 through 4 and off. I mean, everything's on with that for sure. Yeah, I'm hearing you just fine. I don't know why Facebook's not hearing you. There's something weird because everything's set on my end as well, and I don't know how to troubleshoot it. So we're gonna have to live without it for today. It just it hopefully all the guests come in just fine. Yeah. Yeah, it's no, it's well, he's not going to learn everything in one day, and he's not going to be ready to roll for August 19th unless Cade's in with him. I mean, you're not going anywhere, right? So yeah, yeah, exactly. So I'm not sweating it. All right, let me see my next guest. They're here. So good morning. How are you?
Hey, Richard, how you doing? Ray Board.
Likewise.
Richard Williams, how you doing? My pleasure.
You'll have a seat. We're up in about 4 minutes.
All right.
Got your headphones right there.
All right.
We'll get you all set. And we are always visually on Facebook Live, though audibly we're not right now.
Get presentable.
Yeah, I did the opening. I was so last minute this morning. So the opening of the show, I was sans jacket. So the more I've been learning, the more I'm wondering, why am I not at this every year?
I don't know.
I know.
Yeah,
I know. Well, there's a cost to bring the show on the road, but we need to find which we need to find a sponsor for it and get it done.
There you go.
I mean, Friday picked up the tab from the city of Monroe, bringing me in here just to show off the city because half the lineup is going to be look at what Monroe's doing. So
They've been a very gracious.
they've been ridiculous, so good,
amazing.
Yeah. So
we definitely want to talk about that for sure.
Oh yeah. So statewide leaders set the stage. LMA in a rising region. So yeah, that's exactly what we're going to talk about.
Yep. And this is our 100th year of LMA. So
Okay.
we're celebrating that.
Sure. Yeah, that's our big thing.
Yep. Last time you and I talked, it was about our HB 431 training bill for mayors that got passed.
Yeah.
So that's a big topic this year at the convention that actually starts in January. But it's official, so we're excited about it.
All right.
$100-year thing's a big for us.
Yeah, 100
Oh,
years,
yeah.
a big deal for us this year, our centennial.
See if we'll go ahead and add volume to the Facebook so they're not just sitting there. All right, Facebook, let's make sure y'all can hear our guests that are on scene too. Because if you're not hearing Bree Lynn, not hearing the guests here would be a problem for sure. So let's open up a Facebook Live feed. There's going to be a little bit of is that a little bit?
Good morning.
Good morning. Testing.
This is it. Facebook Live feed. It's a little bit.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Testing.
Why are we not hearing Bree Lynn? I don't understand. It's through the exact same feed. This is the most baffling thing. I don't understand. It's the exact same feed. All right. Well, fortunately, the overwhelming majority of the show is going to be in person, so not a whole lot coming back. Facebook will miss out on trending stories next hour, and then this day in history at 7:55. So. Let's get back to her. Okay. I'm just going to text you pictures of the guest names each hour. And this day in history is going to be 7:55, and we're going to go condensed. So we're in weather, you said? Come on. Health. Mm-hmm. 636 at Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. We are broadcasting live from the LMA conference in Monroe, the great folks from the city of Monroe bringing us in to do the show from here today and tomorrow. We'll talk a little bit more about Monroe when the mayor is in with us next hour. Friday, Ellis is going to join us at 7:15. Before we continue, though, I want to remind you about Guarantee Health Solutions. Guarantee Health Solutions is a national healthcare growth and experience transformation company. It is based in Baton Rouge. Not a traditional consulting firm. They Guarantee Health, they partner as a fractional C-suite, meaning they become your executive team before you hire one, aligning strategy, operations, marketing, patient, and team experience into one single model. If you want to learn more, visit guaranteehealth.com, guaranteehealth.com. Right back to it. As we broadcast from the LMA conference, we've got Richard Williams, who's the executive director of the Louisiana Municipal Association. We've got Ray Bork, the mayor of Broussard, and with us and president of LMA. Gentlemen, welcome in. How are you?
Good. Good morning.
Awesome. Yeah, very, very good. First of all, this is going to be a fun 2 days. There's a lot on the docket, a lot on the agenda. I was walking through the exhibitor hall a little bit earlier, but
It's good.
so we'll get into nuts and bolts of a little bit of. We got a number of topics to cover in under 10 minutes, but I just want to start off with the overall. What is the LMA? What is it? I mean, to the average listener out there, what does the LMA do that trickles down to them?
The LMA is a organization founded in 1926, 100 years
Wait,
ago.
that sounds very familiar. 100 years.
100 years ago,
Okay.
a group of mayors met to form an organization to make municipal government better and more efficient. And we are still doing that 100 years later.
Very, very cool stuff. By the way, Guaranteed we're celebrating our 100th year this year as well.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So a group of mayors got together, and this is going to bring us around the range in just a minute, but a group of mayors got together to learn how to serve better. How has that collaboration grown? Because in Louisiana, we don't always play nice in the same sandbox. How has that collaboration grown into what the LMA is today?
Well, the beautiful thing about the LMA and municipal government, it's the closest to the people.
Mhm.
And it doesn't matter your station in life, any of the demographics that people always look at, it doesn't matter.
Right.
People want clean water, they want safe streets, they want good government, all the things that people want,
Mhm.
they want no matter what. So LMA brings everybody together for a unified local government purpose. We do lobbying, we have a risk management that's a risk pool, we do tax collection, we have services, we have all the affiliates, we do the clerks, city attorneys, the recreation and parks people, the CAOs, the public works directors. We have training for just about every facet of municipal government.
I mean, it's really, when you think about it, it's the nuts and bolts of every city. It's not the fluff. It's not, there's splash pads and parks, although I'm sure that comes in sometimes as well.
It does.
But when you talk about the main things that drive a city, that make a city, that's all over it. And 100 years of it. Talk to me a little bit about how, that's a big deal.
It's a big deal. Yeah, it's good. So we are pleased. There's 306 municipalities, villages under 1,000, town is 1,000, 5,000, and cities over 5,000.
Do y'all have to sit at separate tables? So like, hey, the village is over there. Those guys sit.
No,
Leave them. You can't hang at the city table. Take a walk, nerd. It's not like that.
It is all good. Everybody's right.
Sorry, I'm gonna get y'all in trouble in the opening segment.
Right. Everybody's, as you say, everybody's playing happy in the same sandbox. Yeah,
Exactly.
because you may have one permit, or you may have 4,000 permits,
Right.
but you want the one done just as good as you want the 4,000 done. So
Absolutely.
So it don't matter the size. Everybody wants the same thing.
So we're going to pivot over to Ray here real quick, and we're going to talk about some of the growing regions in just a minute. But we got 6 minutes left with Richard Williams and Ray Bork. Ray, I want to bring you in to talk about, you and I visited back during the legislative session in trying to answer the question, how do you get better at being mayor? Like, there's no handbook, there's no training manual, there's no class you can go to. However,
well, what you just said is a great observation. And LMA is that organization that helps mayors get their training with the goal of municipal excellence. And that is the goal. How do we do everything that we need to do as the administrative heads of our cities, towns, when it went, and also working with our council. So the LMA put forward a legislative bill.
hang on. Before you get too deep into it, there's no way we can't address that. So they're setting up for everything that's going to be happening this morning. If we're like, it sounds like we're inside of a train. And so we're just going to let the cart pass. It's live radio. It's live radio, and it's early morning. Staff is working hard to make sure y'all are taken care of today. So it's nothing but love for them, but there's some unavoidable noise from time to time.
But that is a great analogy of what goes on in town. So there's always work.
Yeah.
If things look like they're running well, guaranteed someone is working very hard in the background to make it run.
Yeah.
Somebody just pushed the cart through to make
That's
it.
correct.
Right.
That's
Exactly.
correct. Somebody's up
And-
early in the morning working, and and we have to give a lot of credit to all our town employees that work so hard to make sure things are running well. But the focus was the last conversation we had about HB 431, and that was a training bill to make sure mayors get 16 hours worth of training every year. Very important that we also have added an orientation for new mayors, because like you said, there is no rule book to the business of running a city. LMA has stepped up with our legislators to make sure that there is a path, so mayors can, when they get to the job, get the training that they need to at least get their strong footing under them and get started correctly.
So what does that training look like? 16 hours a year? Is it directed towards like individual topics? Is there like one head mayor who takes the class and rotates? What does that look like?
Well, there are some very good classes out there already. Our legislative auditor teaches many classes about the financial side of, governmental finances. There's some ethics classes already in place. LMA has a litany of sessions, many of which will be taught at this convention, and they're taught at every convention. It is just a way to consolidate that and make sure we are tracking that each mayor each municipality here are taking those classes. And then there's some, where you can pick and choose. So it all starts this January. Got past this last session. It being organized.
Or that background work.
You ever had seen the Blues Brothers when Elvin fixing they go back down to the car bases? How often the train pass? So often you won't hear it. Just hear it. 3 more seconds, it'll be up. All right, pick it back up again. So I mean, are we just calling it mayor school? I mean, do they go somewhere? Is there a campus? What are we looking at?
Well, it'll happen at these conventions.
Okay,
and
very
it will come into their districts, into their towns.
Very, very cool stuff.
What we're already doing, but just times 10.
Yeah.
Magnified and now tracked.
We're talking with Richard Williams, the executive director of the LMA, and Ray Bork, who's president of LMA, but also the mayor of Broussard. Let's pivot over to where we're at right now. We are seeing some rising regions around the state right now. Ascension Parish is booming with Hyundai. You got Southwest Louisiana with all the LNG. You look right, just east of here with Meta moving in. what is creating that movement, and how do local municipalities, like, how do they enhance it instead of hinder it?
Well, I gotta tell you, we would be remiss if we didn't mention the city of Monroe hosting us today. There this week. They have been incredible. Mayor Ellis, I mean, you can't see, but this convention center is decked out beyond imagination.
Oh, it's
I
fantastic.
mean, they've gone so above and beyond the call of duty on
Yeah.
everything.
Oh yeah.
Their host, yeah, they're rolling out the carpet.
Yeah.
And that actually is what makes a difference too. Because you come up here and the carpet's rolled out, and I think businesses know it.
That plays a long way. I mean, it's not, you're not targeting like ego stroking, but just being the hospitable people that Louisianans are supposed to be.
You have to be welcoming.
Yeah.
And when new industry comes, I mean, business retention is just as important as getting new businesses into your area, but you have to be as easy as you can to do business with, welcoming to those businesses to make sure that they can be successful in your area. Having an open door policy is extremely important.
Now, how difficult is that line to walk between being new business friendly, but serving your constituents first?
Well, it's like any other business that we do. You have to service your customers, and looking at businesses that are in your municipality as customers, they're your family, they're investing in your area, your residents are also seen in the same way. You have to be willing to help people, have that open door policy, listen to them. Everybody has to follow the rules so we have an equal playing field. But if you call a municipality and no one calls you back or no one answers the phone, you're not going to get very far creating new relationships or keeping old relationships healthy.
Well, and what we do, what LMA does, it is try to make every function of municipal government successful and efficient, and all of the things that we, the smooth permits, the smooth roads, the clean water, all the stuff that a mayor has to do. We try to be a resource to help them do that, or find the resource if we're not it.
He's Richard Williams, Executive Director of the LMA, Ray Bork, the Mayor of Broussard and President of LMA. Guys, it was a fast 10 minutes. Thank you all so much for
Thank you for having us.
Minus the train. We're going to take a quick break, come back in just a little bit. We're going to check traffic. We're going to check your money now on the back of that break. Savannah Morris is the Executive Director of the Richland Chamber of Commerce. We'll have a lot to talk about next. We clear? Awesome.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you all.
You make it easy.
That was,
We appreciate it.
oh man, my absolute pleasure.
With the train.
Yeah. There's nothing you can do about that.
No.
When I do shows from New Orleans, it's 1,000 times worse.
Yeah.
From the Monroe Convention Center.
Gave me a good analogy.
Yeah, exactly.
And
All right, you're welcome anytime.
Oh, thank you
Anytime.
so much.
And
Greatly
just
appreciate it.
I can tell you, so New Orleans is a member. Mayor Marino's gonna be here for lunch today. We got
I saw that.
the smallest village to the city of New Orleans.
Yeah.
Mayor Edwards is here from Baton Rouge tomorrow night.
Yep.
I mean, we cover them all and service them all.
Yeah.
So,
So,
all right.
appreciate
Thank
a couple
you.
minutes. Thank you.
Thank you. Richard Williams. Good to see you. Yeah, it's good to see you. Yep.
Morning. Hey,
Thank you.
Brian. Nice to meet you. Come on in here. You'll be right next to me, and we're always on Facebook Live visually, but our mics are down right now. So
Not gonna ask me anything hard, are you?
everything is going to be hard. Why are you stealing all the water to give to Meta? No, I'm just kidding. We try to sift out the internet crazies ahead of time. So yeah, absolutely. So I was at a press conference for LED. It was at their new headquarters right outside the state capitol. And talking about the quintupling of the investment. And they brought in a bunch of teachers from Richland and whatnot. And I mean, it was like a damn pep rally.
Yeah,
So a lot of excitement.
and New Orleans are better.
Baton Rouge.
So since I think I was at that announcement.
That's,
Since you-
is it a big tent?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, I was there.
It was exciting. So, those numbers are just not anything that anybody around here would have ever dreamed of.
No, I'm
It's like when you used to play the game MASH, like.
use that. Use that. That's awesome. That's gonna kill me.
She was
She was
like,
walking back that far away. We're not going to hear it on air, but she was walking right by and right back a minute ago.
so it's very loud over there, so I didn't know.
Yeah, it shows up on the air. It does. Done. Okay, what do you want to talk about? Obviously, Meta.
Yes, you know, keeping it positive. I like to just talk about how we like to be the connector. So connecting the people in our community as well as businesses in our community.
Okay.
Just the opportunity for generations to come.
And it's going to be it's an 8-minute segment, so it's going to go by quick.
Okay.
So
When I get nervous, it starts to ramble, so you have
good.
to. It's funny that.
And I'm going to ask you, and this might be a little bit premature with Meta, not even open yet, but like spinoff. How do you use Meta for spinoff business?
Okay.
So
So I was gonna say, I don't really like to do numbers and speak on behalf of them, you know.
Nope.
But
No.
sometimes people might not. I just don't like to respond that
yeah,
way.
you're good. You're good.
So,
Are you from Richland Parish?
I'm from Franklin Parish, which is probably drove through there to get here.
Oh, yeah, I took a weird route to get here because my daughter is at USM and yesterday
okay.
was move-in day. So I helped her move in. So I took Baton Rouge to Hattiesburg to Monroe.
Yeah.
And that's not forever of your life.
It's about 20 minutes away though. And
Okay.
it's families, generational farmers
Nice.
and Parish.
Okay. All right, we got about 30 seconds to on, so let's go ahead and grab that. I'll pull the volume up, and we'll make sure you're at the right volume. Yeah, those last boys were quite bellicose. Is the right word. That's a good SAT word. Mm-hmm. 652 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. We get ABC News coming your way in about 8 minutes, which doesn't give us a whole lot of time. So we got to get to Savannah Morris. She is the executive director of the Richland Chamber of Commerce. Savannah, good morning. Welcome aboard. How are you?
Good morning.
So, Richland Parish is more than just a clever name right now, isn't it? That is y'all are swimming in it. Kind of, yeah. That's where we need to start things off. Okay, so Meadowlands in your backyard. Let's talk a little bit about Richland's role or the chamber's role in because this is a multi-level thing here. You got Richland, you got the city of Monroe, you got the state of Louisiana. Like this was a team effort to pull them in.
In general. And so with Meta's announcement, it's really taken a huge collaboration between all of Northeast Louisiana to make this happen, to create successes for people in our community. So it's been a game changer.
We'll talk about the whole connection aspect of it and being the connector.
So at the Richland Parish Chamber, we're kind of a baby chamber. It's actually our 10-year anniversary this year. Yes. Okay. So I like to refer to us as I have little boys and we have a lot of Legos. And so we're kind of like the little Lego piece, you know?
Okay, yeah.
So you got Meta, the big Lego piece, and then we have our community, Richland Parish, Northeast Louisiana, and the other big Lego pieces. And we like to just be the middle little Lego piece that we help make the connections, connect our people to opportunity, connect businesses to opportunity, and connect Meta to local people right here at home.
Now, Meta is going to be generational change. We were talking during the break about a press conference that was in Baton Rouge where a whole bunch of Richland Parish teachers were in there, and the press conference turned into a pep rally. I mean, you start handing out $50,000 checks, you are going to change family trees.
Yes, for sure. It's so amazing, and I was telling you earlier, but I feel like we're playing that game of MASH. I don't know, growing up in the 90s,
Folded paper.
yes, and like you pick your, you're like, oh, get this much money, and I was like, when they were throwing out the billions and millions numbers, you just felt like you won the big one on the game of MASH, and even just having the highest paid teachers, like that's such a win. That's such a generational impact of we're creating the future leaders of our community, and we're setting them up for success right off the bat.
Very cool stuff. Now, it's not just the teachers, though. Sales taxes everywhere are always already being collected.
It's everything. It's our restaurants, it's our businesses, it's our churches, it's our community leaders, our ag businesses are also thriving, as well as our construction businesses. So it's just an all around huge impact for anyone in our community.
Talk with Savannah Morris, the executive director of the Richland Chamber of Commerce. I mean, this is going to sound like a stupid question, but who's the second biggest kid? I mean, there's I mean, that when you have a prize like this, I mean, does this raise your bar through the roof, or does it make it easier to sell?
I think both, but like I said, we just focus on the positive, and that it's a big win, and it's a good question.
So, okay, this might be a little bit early in the game to start talking about it, but let's talk about spinoff here, because when Meta rolls in, you're going to want to use that for other chamber, economic development, targets and whatnot. So how do you go about hitting up the next? How do you go about, figuring out who's after Meta?
So I think that's where the collaboration between all of our business partners and our community leaders comes in. It's not just the chamber, it's working with Gronila and City of Monroe and the Monroe Chamber and all of our other local leaders to help come up with a game plan of, like, we know that we're heavily looked at right now. And so working with the town, working with the police jury to set us up for success, to attract those other businesses that are going to be looking at us now.
How's the partnership been with? I hate to make this thing all about Meta, because I mean Richland Parish has been around, and y'all are doing your work, but this is play the hits. This is the headliner, right?
Sure.
But how has the partnership with Meta been since they've been here? They've been very collaborative since moving in building?
Very collaborative from day one. They wanted to just get to know our community, and we're like, any opportunities, any nonprofits that we can help out. One huge thing was when the ice storm hit, and nobody was prepared for that. I don't think it's Louisiana, that's not supposed to happen. And they stepped up, and we have a local nonprofit called Cool Kids Inc. And he called me, and we called Meta, and we said, hey, like, we need to feed the people in our community. And they said, absolutely. And so they provided support for that. And we were actually able to support local businesses that may have been struggling during that time as well, because nobody could come during the ice storm, but they were able to feed the people in our community in need. And so it's kind of a 2-for-1, like we're helping the businesses as well as we're helping the people of our community. And I mean, even just, initiating programs for our future education systems and offering scholarships and investing in Delta Community College and starting the workforce program of being able to say, like, hey, we want the opportunity for the people in the community. So they've been great.
You mentioned Delta Community College. What's the end been like for what has it been like on that end to be able to look at the training the workforce for what's going to be needed once it's up and running?
It's been pretty mind blowing for me, honestly. My dad was in construction, and I have a little bit of background and just knowing what that takes. And so they have really, the way they rolled out the programs that they have, and so fast, but so efficiently, to be able to provide our community and our local people with jobs out there. It's been impressive to watch. And I truly am thankful for their commitment to step up and to get our people prepared to have a job out there.
She is Savannah Morris, the executive director of the Richland Chamber of Commerce. We got less than a minute. We'll get right at a minute before we get you out of here. So I want to talk about when you're in Richland Parish, you're just outside of Monroe. Talked about the collaboration or the working together with Meta. What's it like working with Monroe?
They've been great. We've had several sit-down conversations with them about, hey, it's a we win, you win mindset. And so we really do just try to work together for our community in a whole. So they've been a great partner.
As the executive director of the Richland Chamber of Commerce, before we get out, give me one thing about Richland Parish that everybody needs to know.
It's the best place on earth. It's beautiful, and we're just getting started. Our roots are rising.
Gotta love it. Savannah Morris, Executive Director from the Richland Chamber. Thank you so much for a couple
Thank
minutes
you.
this morning. Absolutely. We are at 6:59 at Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, ABC News coming your way in just a little bit. Before we get out, though, and before the hour's over with, I do need to remind you, like I need to remind you this, Drew Brees going into the Hall of Fame, y'all. We are going to carry the induction ceremony live right here on Talk 107.3 FM. So as Drew makes it into the hall, we'll have it for you on the air. All right, hour two's coming up next. Awesome.
Oh, I really did feel like
That was fantastic. Very good work. Thank you.
learning as I go.
Yep. So,
I have
Yeah.
a nursing degree, so it's a little,
well, it's a different beast, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Awesome.
Hello. Thanks. I guess I couldn't tell what I was saying. I said, I feel like I'm in an airplane with these headphones on.
How much we love an airplane.
Yes. I know. I was like a little nervous.
Terry and I are texting about
You're here bright and early.
just for you.
And then I was like, what? I don't even know what time it usually starts.
So good.
Yes. And so I was like,
You okay, Brian?
Yes. I'm apparently having Facebook Live troubles this morning, and I don't know why. All good. All right. All right. Are y'all hearing me on Facebook Live? Okay. So the mayor says it's working. Now, next thing is it working? Are you hearing me when my? Well, here's my. Hang on. No, what I'm working on right now. Okay, I figured out what it is. I just don't know how to fix it. It's in my computer. Some setting got revamped to where. All right, I know what the problem is. We're not getting my mics. We're getting ambient sound. We're getting the mic that's built into the camera. So remember this happened in Washington, D.C.?
First day. Yes, I remember that.
All right, so this should have it. All right, how about now? All right.
I guess we'll find out when I do trending.
Does that sound different now? And I'm going to keep talking right now, but I've got my volume up on my Facebook Live. So just bear with me for about 40 seconds. Turn the volume up on my headset, and I'm still talking.
You cut out, Brian.
Hey, I fixed it. Who needs a field tech, boss? Let's go.
Brian, you do it all.
Host and engineer. I don't know how that setting got. I actually reset that setting yesterday before shutting it
This
down.
wouldn't happen.
Yep. Now you can hear Bree Lynn?
Well, I'm not on yet, but
No.
Oh,
Facebook, you can hear Bree Lynn. Let me know.
hello.
Yeah.
Good morning,
Awesome.
people. Good morning, Renee. Good morning, Alan.
All right. We got it. All right. I see. And I didn't even think to look at that because I made that adjustment literally yesterday before we got out. So
Renee, so you can hear me.
There you
Yay.
go.
Okay, cool.
Michael says we hear and see you perfectly. Awesome. Very, very good. So Mayor Friday Ellis coming up at 7:15. So I'm gonna want to keep it tight on top stories and trending, so we can maybe get to him a minute or two early.
Okay.
Yeah,
We're going into the open.
yeah. And then Mike Eccles at 7:35. Which, by the way, Mike Eccles is get a load of this. Okay, Mike Eccles is from Monroe, right? We're from Baton Rouge. We're in Monroe. He's in Baton Rouge. So yeah, Mike is he's in town to be the first one to qualify for the 5th congressional district race. So there's a pretty decent chance either he calls into the studio or he might show up at the studio. So if he shows up at the studio, I'll buzz him in, and if I can't buzz him in, I'll hit you up, Breland, and you can go let him in the door. And we'll get it all covered. But yeah, it's going to be kind of reverse engineered. But you put him on my mic and make sure it's fed back to me.
Offline.
The-
Okay,
yeah,
we're
yeah.
in the open. I'm gonna talk.
Oh snap! Okay.
Go ahead.
7:05 at Talk 107.3 FM WBRP Mornings with Brian Haldane off and run. Oh no, hour 2 of Mornings with Brian Haldane off and running. Brian here with you. Bree Lynn producing. I am not in the friendly confines of the 180 Pro Studio. I am at the Monroe Civic Center in beautiful Monroe, Louisiana, as we are broadcasting live from the LMA, the Louisiana Municipal Association's annual conference. Bree Lynn, I'm hearing me roll back behind me. Pull me out if you could. Broadcasting live from the LMA's annual conference. We are going to be going at this all morning this morning and all morning tomorrow morning as well. Already have a great hour in the books. Hour 2 is going to be even stronger. As Monroe's Mayor Friday Ellis joining us in our next segment, talking about the host city, a little city spotlight from Monroe. And also this hour, Mike Eccles and Corey Barr. That's coming up at 7:35. Talking about transforming downtown Monroe, how local leaders turned vision into reality. Corey Barr is a chef and owner of Parish Restaurant Group and Sushi Coco. I'm gonna have to hit up one of his places while I'm up here. All right, that's all coming up this hour. Right now, though, we start you off with top stories and trending.
Number 5.
We are learning more information about a couple in Point Copee Parish that's facing charges following the death of their 10-month-old daughter. I'm not going to run through all the history. Our news partners at WBRZ have that if you want to check it out. But the family, specifically the baby's father, Joseph Jackson, has a lengthy list of previous charges. There have been Amber Alerts before. There have been domestic abuse charges before. It's not a pretty scene in Point Copee.
Number 4.
But we're not going to get out of Point Copee without some good news. School board members broke ground on a new office yesterday. That new building will be constructed at the former site of LaBar Elementary School in New Roads. That was the school was actually torn down specifically for this project.
Number 3.
A ribbon cutting was held for the Cook Road Extension Project over in Livingston Parish. That road now connects Pete's Highway to Jubin Road. It's expected to help traffic flow around I-12. The project, by the way, dates back to 2014 and had to be amended a little bit around 2016 because of the flood.
Number 2.
We are now into week 4 of the search for 15-year-old Jadarius Manyweather's body at a Baton Rouge landfill. Manyweather, of course, disappeared from the ghost town area of Baton Rouge in early June. Police later arrested 51-year-old Maurice Parms, charged him with first-degree murder in connection with Manyweather's death. We've been told at every turn that this search is going to be tedious. This search is going to be meticulous. The search is going to be lengthy, and they're just hoping for some, if any, some level of closure.
Number 1.
Greater Baton Rouge Economic Partnership has officially announced that they are launching a national search for their next president and CEO. The organization's current 5-year strategic plan actually concludes at the end of this year, which would give the incoming leader an opportunity to work with the board of directors, investors, staff, and regional partners to develop the next strategic plan.
Those are your top stories. It's time to see what's trending.
All right, Bree Lynn, what's trending?
Well, Todd Blanche is looking at a margin of just 1 to 2 votes as this AG nomination moves to the full Senate.
Yep, and who are those 1 to 2 votes going to be? I mean, there's a lot in question with this. There's a lot that's been left up to chance here. And that, Well, go ahead.
Yeah, you brought up last hour's Bill Cassidy. Run me through that again. It'll get
So,
interesting.
so here's the thing, and I have no idea what Bill Cassidy's take is on Todd Blanche, and I know that from the time he was elected to today, Bill Cassidy has has always voted the way his heart and conscience tell him to. Now that hasn't always aligned with Donald Trump. That hasn't always aligned with the Republican Party. Not always, but it has been where he feels as an elected official, he should take his vote. So he's probably going to continue to do that now. But why would you vote in favor of, and I'm being petty, why would you vote in favor of someone's AG nominee when that someone has already shown you the door? That is such a wild card in this whole scenario.
Right. Well, an armed man was arrested at Donald Trump's California golf course ahead of the president's visit.
We're not doing the bid again. I would love to do the bid again, but
Right.
it's if you were here in the last hour and on Facebook Live, you couldn't hear Brie Lynn's into this. But at what point does Donald Trump just not adopt Kelly Clarkson's "What doesn't kill you makes you strong"? I think that's Kelly Clarkson. "What doesn't kill
Yeah,
you
it
makes
is.
you stronger" as his theme song.
And
I
think
mean-
about his fist pump to the YMCA. He's
Yeah.
going to fist pump to Kelly Clarkson.
No, the dance,
By
the
all
Trump
means.
dance fits in right with it. Here's the thing, though, is like in these waning days, because after midterms, the president is done. I mean, he's not done, but he's in his final 2 years. Are we going to see more assassination attempts along the way? We've seen more than a handful of them already. What does the future hold on that front?
Right. All right, we have a shark alligator roll story for you. A little baby, a 5-foot tiger shark was caught off the coast of Massachusetts, which is rare for that region. Fun fact, tiger sharks are normally found further south.
So, first of all, we're going to ignore any baby shark jokes.
Just a baby.
No, that's fine, but I'm still just saying the song "Baby Shark" is not going
Oh,
to
yeah.
happen.
No.
And
not
yes,
the doo-doo.
Here's the thing, though. Be ready for this end of it. Is because if you see wildlife moving in places where that is not their normal habitat, what has changed in the habitat that would cause that? For example, remember back in really winding back the clock from the first year that Talk 1073 launched, 2011, when we had the river was pushing up, and there was all the flooding upriver, and you had all the Louisiana black bears making their way into suburban areas. You had black bears.
Remember that?
Yeah. Yeah, and Dr. Strain, our Commissioner Dr. Mike Strain, was doing all the public announcements saying, "Do not feed that bear. That bear ain't happy." Like when that was going on, you had something happening that caused a change to the wildlife's environment that forced the wildlife out of their normal habitat. So what's going on here that's moving the tiger shark out of their normal habitat?
Right.
That's where we're going
Right.
to start to see people pointing towards warmer water temperatures.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
712 at Talk 1073 FM WBRP. I am told that Mayor Friday Ellis could be coming in hot. So he's going to meet us up on the back end right after the break. Before we take that break, though, want to remind you about Landmark Bank. LandmarkBankLA.com is the website. One of the great things about being up at the Louisiana Municipal Association, and Richard Williams, executive director, said this, is whether you're the smallest village or the biggest city, you're still in the same standing here at the LMA. Well, the same is true with LandmarkBankLA.com. They're a community bank. When you talk about that village, when you talk about that tribe, when you talk about that community, that's what you get with Landmark Bank and LandmarkBankLA.com. You can learn more about their services for personal banking or business banking at LandmarkBankLA.com, and you can learn what communities they're in when you visit LandmarkBankLA.com.
We're out.
Thanks. Chamber of Commerce, Savannah. Good morning. Welcome aboard. How I'm hearing that. Thanks.
Let me hang on. I'm gonna take me out offline.
Chamber of Commerce, Savannah. Good morning. Welcome aboard. How are you?
Yep.
Good morning. Welcome. Take Adobe out of offline. Chamber of Oh, I forgot to text Tim. Morning. I'm well. How are you?
Okay, we're back in. Ready when you are.
Okay. We're at 7:15 at Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. We're expecting Monroe Mayor Friday Ellis at any moment now. He should be rolling up. Oh, you know what? I'm in his parking spot. He probably had to park further away because I took his parking spot. So here he comes in right now. Hey, while he's getting his headset on, let me take a quick moment, if I could, please. And let me take a quick moment to remind you about ExxonMobil for the last 115 years. ExxonMobil has been in our backyard in Baton Rouge. Has been in our backyard in Baton Rouge, employing our neighbors and doing things, powering the world, basically. When it comes to energy, when it comes to oil and gas, when it comes to all the products that you see, and a lot of products you see that you have no idea whether or not ExxonMobil is building them. Well, you're talking about tires on cars. I mean, they've done it in our backyard and they've done it safely for 115 years. Where does that go in the future? Well, from ExxonMobil's perspective, the future involves carbon capture. Want to know where they're going with that carbon capture and storage? Where are they taking that particular end of it? Visit aboutlaccs.com. They've built out a website to answer your questions, aboutlaccs.com. That's where you're going to find them online. ExxonMobil. Looking forward to the next 115 years in Baton Rouge. Monroe Mayor Friday Ellis is in with us. How are you, sir?
Doing wonderful. This is a great time to be alive. Welcome all my colleagues from across the state and let them understand why we love Monroe so much.
So I want to start there. Why do you love Monroe so much? I've gotten a glimpse of the city so far. Like the last time I was in Monroe before this, a friend of mine was playing football at Northeastern State University.
Yeah.
Not ULM. And that was it's been a minute.
You're opening up some old wounds there, Brian.
You know what? I'm also showing my age.
Start the day with violence. No, I tell people all the time, when I tell people I'm from Monroe, the first question everybody feels is everybody asks, well, how far is that from New Orleans?
Sure.
And I tell people all the time, I said, Northeast Louisiana has always struggled finding its identity in Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
However, it is a chapter worth discovering. Monroe is a vibrant, historic community that has built titans, and we love to show our city to everyone. You look behind you, this hall of greats and the folks that we have produced and their impact not only on arts, culture, business. We're just as good as anybody else, compete with anybody else. And it's all because of our people. And I know you've experienced a little bit about that today.
So far, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
From the time I got here yesterday,
yeah.
The crew that helped me set up here yesterday could not find more hospitable folks, could not find more going out of their way.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot of, let me get that for you.
Yeah.
I can do that for you. Is there anything else you need? Like almost borderline annoying. Like, no, I'm just,
no,
but like, it's so, the Southern hospitality is reigning supreme.
Yeah. And, people ask me all the time, why Meta? Why did they choose this region?
Mm-hmm.
I tell people all the time, I know when they set foot off that airplane and they put their feet in the soil and they met the people, you're also, as a company, going to have to make the decision, is this a place where I can see my people being happy? Are these people the type of municipalities, the type of people that will move mountains to be able to have us shovel ready in time for a development of this magnitude, right?
Yep.
And there is no doubt the state of Louisiana, this region was ready. We stood up workforce. We connected these contractors to folks. The playbook's already been written. We just needed to be put in the game to run the play. And that's exactly what happened.
So let's talk about that growth. Let's talk about that development. We want to talk about so much more than just Meta.
Yeah.
I
Come
know
on.
Meta's a headline. I know it's the big story and everything, but you've been doing a lot that
Yeah.
is non-Meta related as well. But it's just hard to get away from. You
Yeah.
play the hits, right?
Yeah.
Meta's the hit right now.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about. We had Savannah in last hour from the Richland Chamber. Talk to me a little bit about
She's
that
amazing.
bridge. She really is.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about that bridge between, the place where it's at, the big place that's close
Yep.
to it, because if you don't have that partnership, you don't have anything. Richland's not going to be on an island
No.
without having Monroe.
Well, for far too long, communities have always looked at each other as competitors.
Right.
But what we have going on in Northeast Louisiana is something you can't find anywhere else in this state.
Mhm.
Multiple parish pulling in the same direction, talking the same language, working together, helping build capacity. And when I came in as mayor of Monroe, what I realized is the success of Monroe is going to depend upon the success of our surrounding parishes, because they provide workforce. Stand on Interstate on that bridge. I'll show you all the traffic that comes in here to fill the jobs.
Yep.
Of industry that has been here, some for over 100+ years. We depend upon them to be strong. We depend upon them to be educated, trained, skilled, to be able to fill these needs here in Monroe. And everywhere we go across this country, we try to look for revenue streams, ways that we can partner, institutions that we can make strong to help that relationship. That's what it's about. It's not about, you can't stay so insular in Monroe to think that a struggling Richland Parish or Franklin Parish. But now you're starting to see the fruits of these labor, our people working together, consolidating our economic development organizations, being able to have one voice at the table, and we're doing it together. It's amazing what has happened.
Are we different in Louisiana in that we have so much pride in where we're from that we get a little territorial like that? Because you look at other places. Let me just throw out two examples. Dallas, Fort Worth.
Yeah.
They're not competitors, they're collaborators.
Yeah.
Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Yeah.
Like you see collaboration between municipalities, and they can, the whole is greater than the sum of the parts.
Yeah. Speaking of talent, we have one of the biggest talents in the state of Louisiana right here, Chef Corey Barr. What's up, brother? Right here, driving culture in the food industry. But let me go back to what we were talking about. As they say, I got to serve you sugar from a steak knife a little bit. And it hurts a little bit to say this. And I don't mean this in a discouraging way, but it is a scarcity mentality that we have been used to for so long.
Yes.
When resources get short, when jobs get short, people do kind of guard their plate a little bit to guard the resources that they do have to ensure that it doesn't go anywhere.
Right.
However, leaders and municipalities who recognize that we have to share our resources, pull together, work as one unit, that's when you see success. And that is that has been the rally cry of me since I've been in office. And it's someone that has lived in another parish, a rural parish, that I can go into those parishes, talk to them, speak their love language in a sense, to understand the value add to be able to grow together as a region. And any small municipality, you're not defined by your population. You're only defined by the size of your vision and your ability to collaborate, to execute, and make it happen.
So what does the next 5 years look like connecting Richland to here? I mean, what does that look like? Is it like a Metairie to New Orleans thing, or a North Shore to New Orleans look, or, how does that play out?
Yeah. If you look at I-20 and the resources that we have abundance of land and opportunity between us. What it is right now is talking between our chambers and talking with our economic development organization to really start the planning around zoning with those pieces of property, identifying those that are valuable to economic growth that can receive those secondary, third wave, fourth wave of investments, and to not make early and, as I say, immature decisions that may block another development. Like we're working on the second mega site here. That work started before Meta. Because we understood, just like a car lot, it doesn't do you any good if you have no inventory available. Right. So we started working on our certified sites. We have another large site, will be the only other mega site the state will have in its inventory in North Louisiana, and it's literally 5 miles that way.
Incredible. I mean, Talk to me about it. What is it? Is there a hope for the use of it, or is it just wide open?
So we have given, like you say, you got to give them a menu of options, right? So we've got it to where this is what it looks like with one large one large site. This is what it looks like with a 400-acre site and multiple 50-acre sites. And so we've worked really hard with our regional planning organization. We put some long-term projects that are in there. Senator Kennedy just gave $7 million for a new interchange that mitigates that rail crossing to open up. And we're also talking about letting it being rail served so that the whole site can be rail served. So there's a lot of planning that has been going into this. This has been a 6-year kind of project that we've been working. We have the I-20 Economic Development District that has matching funds that we can go one-to-one with the state to make it happen. So we're not begging the state down there, begging for a drop of blood from Mother Pelican, right? We're there at the table saying we can bring cash to site and we can move quickly. And so that means a lot. And the work that LED's been doing with us, the work that Grow Nela has been doing, the work that our regional planning organization has been doing, it's about casting a vision. And as I tell people, you got to give them the box top to the puzzle. You have to give people the vision of what you're working towards, and it makes sense to your community. And when you talk about the future, you have to cast that vision and tell people this is why these dollars need to be invested, and communicate it to them to how it benefits them and their families for years to come.
Now let's talk about the balance here, because Meta's in Richland, your other site 5 miles away from here, but you are the mayor of the city.
That's right.
So walk me through the balance of, you've got projects that are going to be in individual locations, but you've got a downtown, you've got suburb, you've got neighborhoods to take care of. How do you make sure that you can grow one without diminishing the other?
Yeah. So I think Savannah touched on this a little bit when she was here earlier, and she talked about ensuring, number one, that your contractors and your residents get first crack at those jobs. Yeah. Because one is not absent of the other. Poverty, cure to poverty is not more poverty. The cure to poverty is opportunity, and connecting your people and upskilling them with the opportunity to be able to find that opportunity, grow their communities. Because the things that fix your potholes, the things that fix your utilities that run under our grounds are disposable income and sales tax dollars, right? And so to get disposable income, you got to have these high wage, high demand jobs and well-paying jobs, from blue collar to white collar, to be able to raise your average income of families here. And so that's not going to happen simply at scale just by working directly with your existing businesses. It can happen. It'll happen at a slower pace. However, you need to diversify your portfolio of investments here so that not all investments are in one egg. We've seen that happen multiple times with Lumen, State Farm. 1,500 jobs leave this region. That is a tremendous impact. I mean, you're talking almost, 70 million in annual payroll or more extracted from your community, and it's devastating. So diversifying your industry, being able to have working with Louisiana Delta Community College and the university to be able to stand up programs to get them directly opportunities in the jobs, your K-12 system as well.
When you have Meta move in, is the next move to piggyback off of or explore new space?
I think the fastest route there is going to be, because that type of investment is already putting eyes on. Look, I track the tail numbers of planes that come into our airport. There's a Global 8000 sitting on our lot, and I called my airport director. I said, "They getting gas?" He's like, "No, sir. They've been here for 2 days." I said, "Tell me who it belongs to." Yeah. And brother, you would be amazed of all the corporate jets that are sitting on our tarmac that are looking at this region, because $50 billion, the nation's largest single site investment. There's, I believe there's a semiconductor thing in Ohio, but that's multiple sites over a period of like 10, 15, 20 years. Largest single site investment in our nation's history. That brings a lot of attention. But to be able, fastest route is to get there, is figure out who the vendors are that we setting up long-term, working hard to get them, set up. What we're seeing, and I'll repeat this, said this last time, pre-Meta, there were 12 RFPs a year that we might respond to up here. 12. You'll hear this from Grow Nela today. Right now, there are 70 plus RFPs since the announcement. Those RFPs represent a potential additional 30 billion with a B, 30 billion, and a potential for 15,000 new jobs.
Wow. So what would 15,000 new jobs do to the population? I mean, it's obviously you don't have 15,000 unemployed in Monroe.
Correct.
So what would that do to the population here?
So again, you have to think about the population we lost over the past, 30 years
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
It's going to backfill that. The spouse that comes along with it to backfill a job, right?
Yep.
Whether it's in critical shortages in healthcare, education, accounting, whatever it is, you'll have that additional income as well. Students in our schools. So right now, facilities planning for Monroe City Schools, that's going to be a big deal.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
But the extra sales tax revenue that's coming in, they can make, they can make opportunity with that. However, there's a housing study stated we needed about 1,000 single family units. That's what we're working on right now.
Okay.
There is a large development that is ready right now off Riverfront, mixed use development, flagship hotel downtown.
Yep.
Flagship hotel right off the river. 80 new apartments, 60 condominiums, mixed use retail all along the riverfront. There's the developers that came in town looking to do planned neighborhoods and knew what was coming. And it will be on the council agenda here in the next few weeks. And it has created a ton of excitement and a ton of momentum for our community and families. Also looking to workforce development, housing, like low income, moderate income type housing that not only helps with workforce that's coming in, but also you're going to start seeing increased rents and families to be able that can still afford to live here, right? And do it responsibly. So right now, our biggest issue is housing and finding housing stock and looking at, creative ways like these tiny homes, efficient homes.
Yeah.
So yeah.
He is the mayor of Monroe, Friday Ellis. Man, thank you so much for the invite.
Right.
Thank you for bringing me out here.
Yeah.
And thank you for sitting in for a couple
Yeah.
minutes.
Thank you, brother.
Absolutely. It's 7:30. Here's news. Clear?
Yep, clear.
Cool.
I keep forgetting to take you out of queue. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Man, I think what you're going to find is that I know you're going to walk away from your time here and realize why we love it so much.
Oh, I have no doubt.
And these folks are all uniquely us.
And don't take this the wrong way. I have no plans of staying in this building today. I want to get out and explore a little bit. So
do what you need to do, brother. And any way we can help you, let us know.
I mean, Chris Landry from LTA is already texting me saying, don't leave without trying Corey's duck bombs.
Oh, we got you covered.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. We got you covered, bro.
Hey, Bree Lynn, is Mike there or is he over there? Bree Lynn? Hello. Let me text Mike.
You talking about Eccles?
Yeah.
It's hard enough to keep up with him on the sidewalk. Dude, 90 to nothing. His new hotel is.
He's got a new hotel. So that's one of the things, and we're still on Facebook Live, by the way.
Yeah.
But where are y'all on the hotel front?
Yeah, because we've got about 5 permitted right now.
Okay.
He's got another one permitted downtown, but his hotel Monroe right now, you walk in there and you tell me another hotel in the state of Louisiana that's going to compete with that. It is, every inch of that place is immaculate. It's beautiful, and it is full. I mean, slam. Everything is slam.
So I'm in an adorable little 2-bedroom, 1-bath Airbnb about 10 minutes from here. But yeah, that was one of the things as I drove up to here. Where's the convention hotel? Where's is that?
So we say in North Louisiana, we say hold my beer.
Yeah.
We're about to run a very large bond package over a renewed sales tax. And
okay.
We're cooking with peanut oil, as they say, on some plans here, because again, to keep people, you got to look at quality of life as well.
Right.
You also have to look at your public parks. People want to see themselves, envision themselves raising their families and playing in those parks and golfing at your municipal golf course and doing all the things. And so in our first term, we got in there and did a strategic plan around all of our parks. And then finally we had the opportunity to renew a infrastructure tax that will help us do that. So we finally have a funding source that we can bond from. And, rather than pay off old bonds, when I got here, we were paying cash for everything.
Really?
And, brother, we still were able to move in 3 years about 140 million.
I was going to say there's benefit to that, and that you're not paying more than the cost of, right?
Yeah.
But your future is limitless when you can bond it out.
And we spent about 1.5 to 2 years engaging the public. So it's not, my vision, it's the public's vision. And what's good is they're every 6 months they can go and put their hands on something new.
Right.
And it gives them confidence to understand that we're going to do what we say we're going to do, but you're going to have to compete right now. We're going to compete with quality of life. And, these families coming in. And so we're doing a lot of work with schools. We're doing a lot of work with our community. And so, yep, there's Matt Talbert.
Is he on today? Ooh.
He's
No.
probably coming in for the prayer breakfast.
Yeah. Oh man. All right.
All right,
Well,
brother. Well,
yeah,
I'm going to run in here for this prayer breakfast and
Yep. Let me
get him kicked
kill
off.
these. You got 3 really good ones that are going to be running.
Right.
I mean, as a Monroe guy, I'm sure you're going to be, either Eccles or Kathy is, probably preferable. But your boy Gabe Furman, closer to Alexandria, is a really, really good man as well. So
Right. I've heard positive things about him as well. But, obviously being a local guy, I mean, I'm a Northeast, not so much a Monroe guy. I mean, that is home, but I'm a Northeast Louisiana guy. I'm originally from Lake Providence.
okay,
So,
and we're going to talk
We're
about
about
that.
to get back.
oh,
to
yeah.
that.
Okay, thank you.
Is Friday staying on for this segment?
No, he's done.
Okay.
Wait, what do I need here? I need my libraries.
Whenever you're ready, I'm about to put you up.
Sure. We are at 736 at Talk 107.3 FM, WBRP, One Bath and Closets. OneBathAndClosets.com is the website if you want to learn what is possible with the potential of your bathroom, the potential of your closets. You talk about building and rebuilding things. That happens in your home as well. If you didn't build your home, your bathroom wasn't built for you. It was built to somebody else's specifications. It was not built to what you want or need. So if you've got a home that was built in the 90s and the 80s, or like my home in the 60s, then you might want to give your bathroom a look. Say, we can update this a little bit. We don't have to share a vanity as a married couple. We can have our own vanities. We don't have to have that old school bathtub that no matter how many times you clean it, it's still gross. Go to the walk-in closet. It's just such an improvement when we call David Duvall and his team at One Bath and Closets, 400-8005, or just start with the website. Look through the galleries. Do a little bit of just imagination. Just imagine what your bathroom could look like when you visit onebathandclosets.com. All right, we are supposed to have State Representative Mike Eccles on with us. Having some trouble connecting with him, but we've also got Chef Corey Barr in with us. He's the chef and the owner of Parish Restaurant Group and Sushi Coco. Corey,
And Standard Coffee Company in
and
downtown
Standard
Monroe.
Coffee Company.
Yeah, at 7:35 in the morning. You better head over to
I'm
411 Desert Street and get your coffee.
I'm a little bit offended you didn't bring one. Although I could go for some sushi right now. There's no wrong time
I
of
have
day
Mike
for.
on hold.
That's
Okay.
right.
So let's go ahead and punch Mike Eccles up. State Representative Eccles is on the phone right now. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning, and better late than never.
No, absolutely. Yeah, you're not late. You're right on time. We just hopped into the segment a minute early. So you are not just a state representative, but you're also the co-owner of Hotel Monroe. So we're going to kind of pivot to not just a hospitality front, but a downtown front as well. Representative Eccles, want to ask you about when it comes to Hotel Monroe, how much can a hotel bring to a downtown when it comes to transformation and reinvention of what downtowns are?
You know, my wife and I, we started this property with the goal and thought process of making the hotel the living room for the community, a place where people not only locally can come and gather on that Saturday morning for a breakfast or brunch, but all over the state, people that come in from everywhere, and just to introduce them both to Louisiana hospitality and Northeast Louisiana hospitality. So we look at it more than a place just to stay, but it's a place to come and connect and get to know people. And, you know, because we got so many great vendors downtown, you know, Corey's got great food spots. So many others have, and people just can walk around, absorb the community, and then gather back at that hotel for some celebration.
Let me ask you this, and I got to admit I don't know a whole lot about the Hotel Monroe, but what did it used to be?
So one of the buildings was the Sugar Brothers Opera House and Grocery Store, built in 1891. So it had this beautiful ballroom on the third floor. There's another building right beside the Southern Hardware Building. From the day that we acquired it, it had been, you know, for over almost 100 years, a hardware store. So two very unique structures built, you know, about 100 plus years ago.
So, and not knowing what it was, I was leading into that question by saying my bet was going to be that it was something historical, because as you look around the state, downtowns need to reinvent themselves. The old school downtown, 10-story bank is not necessarily a 10-story bank anymore. So it becomes the Watermark in Baton Rouge, or no, that was Watermark was an insurance building. But as you see buildings in downtown reinvent themselves, the hotel becomes a very easy and convenient way to preserve history and revitalize at the same time.
Absolutely. We got to repurpose these assets. They're fabric assets in our community. People remember them when they were young and as business people, and now as buildings and people change, and the buildings have to evolve with them. So that's what we've been doing for the last 20 years, is restoring our downtowns.
Mike Eccles is on with us. Going to get back to you in just a second, Representative Eccles. Want to pivot over to Corey a little bit. So talk to me about those same sentiments, but from a restaurant perspective.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, 20 years ago when I started serving food downtown, everybody told me I was going to go broke, and it was the worst idea ever.
Mm-hmm.
Fast forward 20 years, there's 3 restaurants, about to be 4. We've rehabilitated, going 3 buildings so far, and the public opinion of what we've been doing downtown is just unbelievable. The response has been unbelievable. But much like Mike says, we're exposing people to North Louisiana. We're not occupied Arkansas. We are absolutely part of the fabric of Louisiana and the culture of Louisiana. But, for me, my passion lies downtown. The architectural significance,
right? The
memories that people have of times gone by,
right?
Bringing these things back to life is much more interesting than new construction to me. And, being in this business for almost 30 years, seeing the growth that's happening now, seeing the diversity that's coming in, seeing the excitement.
Yeah.
That is just giving me so much energy.
Well, okay, so I'm going to ask you this from a food perspective. And bear in mind, coming from Baton Rouge, we don't have a signature Baton Rouge cuisine, right?
Right.
New Orleans has New Orleans. Cajun country has Cajun country. We're somewhere mashed up in the middle of there. What's the signature for Monroe?
Well, that you always hear about farm to table, right?
Yeah.
You hear things like that. Well, we're in an agrarian area. We grow things here.
Bro,
we're all this beautiful alluvial soil, this richness that we have. So it's more like that. Certainly we honor Louisiana seafood. We honor Louisiana heritage through quality and sourcing, but we really love our vegetables. We grow the best tomatoes. We grow the best watermelons. We grow the best squash, you name it, the best cucumbers. They all come from right here. So those things are things that you see on our menus in our restaurants that we try to honor. The thing about a po' boy, where it tastes best?
Where?
In New Orleans.
Yeah.
Because of the memories and the things that are happening at the same time you're eating that po' boy make it taste better. So that food really doesn't travel. We don't try to represent any other thing than who we are in our restaurants. So that's important to us, because you get a sense of play, or you get a sense of place with every bite.
Very cool stuff. Corey Barr is with us now. Let's talk about the draw to make sure folks know where they're going, because it's one thing to open up downtown, but it's not Field of Dreams. if you build it, they will come is not necessarily true.
Right.
You got to bring them in.
Yeah. Well, it's through quality and consistency. That's all we talk about at our restaurants is how, mistakes happen, but how you handle them is how you make people feel. And to use every opportunity, every guest that walks through that door is an opportunity for us to make a fan.
Mm-hmm.
And we do that through consistency and hospitality, graciousness, saying thank you. How many times do you go spend your money at a business, no matter what? Do they say thank you?
Oh, the ones I go to, I'm going there because they've already done that.
We appreciate you. You've got opportunity. You've got choices where to spend your money.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like the simple things are lost on people nowadays. Say thank you.
What are you best at?
Right now, I consider myself a team builder.
Okay.
When I was younger, I had an old chef tell me this a long time ago. If you like being a cook, don't become a chef. And if you like being a chef, don't own a restaurant, because none of those things are interrelated.
Right.
You have to learn new skills throughout that whole process. But for me, it's about building teams. It's about building teams of people that share the same vision, that want to create an outstanding experience for everybody that walks through my door.
Let's go back to State Representative Mike Eccles. He's also the co-owner of the Hotel Monroe. Mike, how do you work from a hotel's perspective? How do you work to make sure your hotel is a catalyst to build downtown?
One of the things we did, and we're very intentional about this, we took different components of the community, whether it was the river, whether it was the people, the personalities, and we tried to infuse that in the hotel, in the brand, from the artwork. We're very art-centric in the hotel by way of using local artists to produce really great works of art, whether you're in the room or whether you're up on the Star Bar. I think you start to feel what it's like to be from Northeast Louisiana when you walk through this hotel. That is an attractant. And then we've also wanted a place where you could do business. So people can gather in the lobby. They can gather at the lobby bar, the Star Bar, our various meeting rooms, our ballroom, and do business. So it's a place where you can get a feel of what Northeast Louisiana is all about, do business, and enjoy a little R&R all at the same time.
All right, now I'm going to put this question to Corey first, and then you, Mike, after that. And this is, as you're regrowing a downtown, as you're looking to revitalize a downtown, Corey, we'll start with you. What do you want to attract?
Man, I mean, just like the Hotel Monroe, they do have a restaurant and a catering facility and all that, and it's beautiful and, man, so well thought out. And bravo to Mike and Christy on that. But we need symbiosis. We need businesses that complement one another. Just like nobody eats at my restaurant 5 nights a week or 6 nights a week. They don't eat it at the Heirloom 5 or 6 nights a week. We are sharing that. We are creating synergy. We are attracting more people because the density and diversity of the businesses attract more people that may not have known about us, may not have recognized what we do.
Right.
No matter how big your reputation is, there's still people out there that don't know who you are.
Right.
So places like the Hotel Monroe, places like Cotton, you name it, the Jay Davis's Art Gallery, so forth, so on. There's so many things happening right now. There's so much momentum that's bringing people downtown. And obviously with the goings on with Meta and things like that, there's a lot of interest in real estate downtown. And I look forward to what the future brings with that, because for us, positioned in the hospitality industry, we have nothing but growth in front of us.
Right.
And it's an exciting time to be doing what we do here in Northeast Louisiana.
Mike, what's your answer to that question? What do you want to attract to downtown?
I look at downtowns are the heart and soul of the heart of a community. And whether you're in Monroe, West Monroe, or anywhere in our state, if we work on focusing on shining up that heart and making it beat as best as it can, and that's, through F&B, that's through hotels, heads and beds, apartments, housing, we revitalize and bring back that heart, then the rest of the body, and that's the community, is stronger. And so that's what we've paid very careful attention to over the last 20 years is, let's build apartments. Let's build commercial retail spaces that are affordable for businesses to come in and thrive, create this springboard so all these different special sauces, if you will, come together to make a great meal for people to come and just enjoy. And that's what this is about. I think Corey defines it with his food and what they do with service. That is just one of numerous characteristics that make our downtowns very, very strong.
Representative Eccles, I'm going to cut you loose because qualifying opens in 12 minutes, so I know you're going to get across town.
We're riding as we speak. So thank you for having me today, and honored to be with y'all.
Absolutely. We'll follow up next week on the congressional race. Get you back in short order. Thank you so much, Representative Mike Eccles, also the co-owner of Hotel Monroe. We're going to close out with you here, Corey. Actually, before we close out, because I don't want this to fall to the wayside, you got a shout out from Chris Landry from the Louisiana Travel Association.
Yeah.
He says, "Do not leave without trying Corey's duck bombs." That's his thing.
Well, you asked what differentiated our food from other parts of Louisiana, because I feel like emulation is one of the things we suffer from, because you got to have a personality with what you do. And when you're raised at the duck camp or the deer camp or on the river,
Oh yeah,
here in Northeast Louisiana, where we live, you drive any direction, 15 or 20 minutes, there's 30 different bodies of water. There's so many things to do.
yeah.
But when you think about how you were raised with the food you were raised with at the duck camp and things like that, those are things that people have memory of. And when you put those things on your menu, but you reinterpret them through a chef's eyes, and people identify with that, it gets them excited. It brings back memories, because here in the South, all of our best times, think about it. As a kid, you spent your time sitting on the kitchen counter with your mom. All of our best memories are built around the table.
No, absolutely. And this is why, home design has changed the way it is. And that's why the whole open concept is pivoting us towards the kitchen where we all congregate.
Thank goodness.
It's amazing. Oh, I know.
Thank goodness.
I mean, we don't, since the beginning of time, you break bread together.
You do.
That's what you do. He is Chef Corey Barr. Thank you so much for a compliment.
You
This is
got it.
fascinating stuff. Awesome. We're at 750 at Talk 107.3 FM. Here's your money now. We good?
We're out.
All right.
Yep. Ugh.
All right. How we doing, Facebook? I actually have a minute to. Well, I say I have a minute. I need to be prepping the next segment as well. I had some Wi-Fi snafus last night, so I have been behind the 8 ball all morning long. And let's see.
She's on her way. Oh yeah,
I'm good. How are you doing? Likewise.
Welcome to Monroe.
I know.
Have they given you a warm welcome? Taking good care of you?
Ridiculously so. Yeah, it's
We're not far from
yes. And Friday is top to bottom the best.
Getting him in is
We're still having a lot.
the best thing we can do. He cares about everybody.
Yeah.
He wants everybody to succeed.
God knows.
And the boy never met a possibility that he didn't say, we can't do that. We can do that. We can do that.
So we got one more segment for you. So I'm gonna knock it out. All right. Yeah, you're good. All right. So mapping out for this day, as I don't have anything.
I don't have a whole lot. It's a bunch of like small events, but I have 4 really good ones.
That's cool. That's honestly what we need. The segment drags sometimes when we have too many, you know?
I know, like for today, they had like a magician that was underwater for like an hour and a half.
Who
or
was it?
whatever.
Was it Houdini?
Yes. So shit like that. I mean, I can add that, but I took it out.
Eh,
You know,
It's not that big a deal.
right? And then what was something else I saw? It was like
No, but like a thing like Houdini would be so. The first thing I would do was correct and be the prick about it because he wasn't a magician; he was an escape artist. And
Really?
yeah, and
Shit, let me
the but the topic isn't Houdini. The topic is claustrophobia.
Yep. Shit like Battle of Mobile Bay was today. The Statue of Liberty had concrete that was laid down on this day. Like shit like that, you know?
Yeah, we don't need that.
Yeah. I do have a Louisiana little nugget today, though. Let me add Houdini back in.
All right.
I didn't know he wasn't a magician. I never knew that. I always thought he was. Is what I'm saying.
Well, it's the same thing but different. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
When you're ready.
We're at 7:55 at Talk 107.3 FM at WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Hour 3 is going to be jam-packed, y'all. We've got guests, sometimes two, actually all 3 segments have 2 guests at a time. So looking forward to the next hour. We're going to lead off with Misty Cordell and Dr. Carrie Castile. She's the Misty is, of course, the chair for the Board of Regents, and Dr. Castile is the president of UL Monroe. They'll be on with us to start off the next hour. Right now, though, it's time for This Day in History.
All right, going back to the year 1861, Abraham Lincoln imposes the first federal income tax. Boo.
Really?
I know why. I just don't like
Really?
paying it, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, way back when.
I mean,
I always thought it was in the 1900s, but
bro, that was, he's just a rhino, that man. Want to raise our taxes.
right.
Abe Lincoln, the rhino.
Abe Lincoln, the rhino. 1862, Louisiana news for you. During the American Civil War, Confederate troops launched an attack to recapture Baton Rouge on this day.
Really?
Were ultimately driven back by heavy fire from Union gunboats along the Mississippi River. Yeah.
Okay. Little Louisiana turn right there.
Yep. In 1962, yep, I can put her in depth, but she is so notable enough. She has to have a feature in major news. Legendary Hollywood icon and global pop culture symbol, Marilyn Monroe, was found dead at her home in Los Angeles.
Oh, wow. Okay.
On this day in history.
Yep.
Yes. 1926, I took it out. I put it back in. Harry Houdini stays in a coffin underwater for 1.5 hours before escaping.
No. So,
and you
okay.
said he's not a magician.
So, no, technically he's not a magician. Technically he's an escape artist. And somehow magicians get all ticked off about that. I don't understand the difference between the two. I don't get the difference, but I just know that I have to catch hell. So I always have to be the prick that brings it up. So, not a magician. An escape artist.
Fast forward in many decades ahead. 1992, 4 officers of the Los Angeles Police Department, previously acquitted on charges of beating Rodney King, are indicted on federal civil rights charges.
Oh, wow. So that's not the only civil rights story for today either.
Okay.
If we want to bring it back to Louisiana, on this day in 2011, a federal jury in New Orleans convicted 5 police officers of a myriad of charges related to the Danziger Bridge incident and the cover-up thereafter. Now, that conviction was vacated 2 years later. Also, talking convictions, this day in 2009, former Congressman Dollar Bill Jefferson was convicted in a Virginia court on 11 of 16 felony counts.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
birthdays today. We
Wait,
have
hang on.
Neil-
I got two
Oh,
more. I got two more for this day in
Okay.
history. This day in 1978, the New Orleans Saints lost 14-7 to the Philadelphia Eagles. Why do we care? It was the first NFL game played in Mexico City. And this day in 1983, Risky Business was released.
Risky Business. What year was the Saints playing the Eagles?
78.
Okay.
Hmm.
Birthdays: Neil Armstrong, 1930. On
Uh-huh.
this day in history, yep, the first man to step on the moon. Let's see, Pat Smear. He's a guitarist known for his rhythm in Foo Fighters and Nirvana.
Okay.
Let's see, Terry Clark. She is big in the country music world. She has a birthday today. James Gunn. Best known for directing Marvel films and leading DC Studios. He has a birthday today.
Okay.
What about you?
Yeah, I had Neil Armstrong was the only one that I really had.
Notable deaths. I mean, I'm going to say it again because she deserves recognition. Of course, Marilyn Monroe on this day in history.
Okay.
Let's see, National Day today. They have such bull for today, but we're going to go with this one. We're going to go with National Oyster Day.
Yes, it's National Oyster Day. Absolutely, it's
Dragos.
National
Gotta go-
Oyster Day.
Got to go to Dragos.
Yeah,
Get
visit
the good
Dragos if you
charbroiled.
get a chance today for sure. Get you some charbroileds going on. Get you some raw oysters if you want to. It is National Oyster Day. That's not a BS one for sure. That's one for our backyard. And that's one for the books as the second hour is over with. It's coming up on 8 o'clock at Talk 107.3 FM. Hour 3 is next.
We're out.
Cool. Okay. I'm going to step up and stretch my legs for a second, y'all.
National Couscous Day. National Underwear Day. Yeah, National Underwear Day. Like, come on, right? Who says, you know what? We're going to make a National Sock Day, National Toe Day. All right? What the fuck? The Strait of Hormuz. Y'all better open up that Strait of Hormuz. Oh, here's Brian's old logo. I don't know if you can. No, you can't see it. Let me do this. Mornings with Brian Haldane. There we go. It wasn't technically a logo. No, it wasn't. It wasn't ever a logo, but it's what we used to put on the board. Oh yeah, but no, it was never. I don't know. That's what I'm wondering because he can easily put up a different background on StreamYard. Yeah, but see, back in the day, he would just have whatever. Oh, look, Alondra. Have you met her yet? She's sweet. She's she was was she Brian's longest running producer? I believe Taylor Sharp was the longest producer. Taylor was 2 years. I think Alondra was just a year and a half, maybe. And now, ironically, Taylor and Alondra are ESPN's OTB producers. Taylor does video, Alondra does audio. She always wanted to do sports, though. Okay. Suggesting some foolish and firing momentum that started 0.0 Straight up Hormuz.
Now, a check on your drive from the Talk 107.3 Traffic Center.
If the Pew Research Center calls you and asks you if you trust the government to do this right, you say, "Oh yeah, totally."
Yeah, right.
What are you doing? I want to know what idiots in that 17% said, "Yep, I do." It's just got to be someone who's crazy if it was 100%, but like, I can't imagine anybody with a real head
Right?
saying, "Yes, I do."
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
Of course. That's what they're supposed to do.
Oh Lord, y'all! I didn't know that y'all can hear me like that good. I'm over here running my jaws about the Strait of Hormuz.
You see that caption?
Yeah. What caption?
What?
Wait, what?
Are you messing with me? He's got it like auto captioning the stuff like on his stream. Yeah, see me saying you see that caption? Yeah.
Oh, Brian, turn the captions off.
When you just said the Strait of Hormuz, it said the Strait of Hormuz.
Yeah, look, Brian.
Yeah.
Brian, we're back in, but you need to turn the captions off of the live stream.
I don't know how to do that.
Okay, we can deal with it in a minute. Hold on. I'm gonna put you back on. All right, you're in.
806 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP mornings with Brian Haldane, rolling right along. Hour 3 coming your way right now. Brian here with you. Bree Lynn back in studio. No, I'm not in the friendly confines of the 180 Pro studio this morning. I am broadcasting live from the Monroe Civic Center in Monroe, Louisiana, as we're coming to you from the LMA annual conference, the Louisiana Municipal Association's annual conference. And we have been just chock full of guests, and that continues right now. Go put your headsets on right there. We're going to welcome in Misty Cordell, the chair of the Louisiana Board of Regents, and Dr. Carrie Castile, president of UL Monroe. Ladies, welcome aboard. How y'all doing this morning?
Doing great. How are you?
Doing very well as well. We've got a lot to talk about today because Monroe's bumping, and that means a lot of things. One of the things that it means is as jobs come to town, we need to fill them. So let's talk workforce development a little bit overall. Building out a pipeline for a workforce. We'll start. We'll start with you, Dr. Castile. From UL Monroe's perspective, is like, how are you tackling the next, say, 10 years?
Sure. So
let's get this up a little bit. There we go.
Got it.
And this one around. Sorry. I left
That's
it all
okay.
a mess for you.
That's okay. We good?
Yep, we're good.
So, from a leadership perspective, I like to say you either partner or you perish. And for me, partnering with industry, partnering with our Board of Regents, with our Board of Supervisors, but with every industry in Northeast Louisiana is critical. When I first started this job, I interviewed 50 CEOs in 50 days.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked them, are you hiring our graduates? If you are, how are they doing? Are they day one ready? If you aren't hiring our graduates, where are they going? And so for me to be in complete alignment with our workforce, our industries, not only looking at the jobs of the past, the jobs of the future, and what we're looking at in about 20 years.
Mm-hmm. Misty Cordell, from the Board of Regents perspective, you see, an injection into an area like this, how does the Board of Regents respond?
Man, we're so excited, and I have to give President Castile a shout out. She came in guns a blazing with lots of plans and ideas, and to have innovators like her leading our campuses, I mean, that's really what we need right now to inject the workforce. And you asked really one of my favorite questions, because that's one of the things that we did with education. We are now partnering with K-12 as well as our community and technical colleges 4 years, and with Susie Showen on the workforce side. So really what the plan is to get kids excited about a job even when they're in K-12.
Right.
One of the tasks or one of the things that I tasked my group with whenever I was made chair is I want to go to every single campus and I want to talk to the students, because those are our customers. My background's in marketing. You sell to the customers. And I asked these kids, I was like, when did you decide what you wanted to be?
Right.
Most of them will tell you it was a big rush. It was my junior year. I had to declare a major and I was trying to get into a college. And they would say, I have regrets. I wish, a lot of medical students, if I had known that I wanted to go to medical school, if I was really pushing for this, I would have made better grades. And that's something that really resonated with me. So I asked them, I was like, what's the sweet spot to get into a kid's head about, what are the opportunities for me whenever I graduate and go on to college? And they said between the ages of 6th grade and 8th grade. And that was very eye-opening to me, because you think about it, once a kid goes to high school, their brain is way elsewhere. They're not thinking about, what do I want to be when I grow up? So introducing opportunities and workforce and what a day in the life looks like in between those ages is really critically important. And then getting them on through college, be that 2-year or 4-year, and then having Susie Showen and Susan Bourgeois bringing in business and capturing them at the end where they are, because I'm tired of the brain drain. I have 2 sons. Thankfully, they're both still here in the state. But I have too many friends whose kids live elsewhere, and we want to keep our best and brightest here.
And just for a point of clarification, what's the Louisiana Board of Regents cover? I mean, is it 4 years, 2 years,
We
technical,
do all of it. Yeah, we do
all the
all
way
of it.
through? Okay.
Yeah.
Because you've got an interesting balance right now. There's a push for technical, there's a push for certifications, there's a push, right? It's not a push away from 4 years, it's not a push away from the traditional university, but it's to be a little more, right fitting, I guess is the word. So talk to me a little bit about that balance of how do you grow one without diminishing the other?
Well, I mean, you really have to listen to workforce. And one of the things that I'm really proud about coming in as chairwoman on the Board of Regents, I listened to a lot of my presidents from the college campuses and the 2-year and the 4-year. And one of the things that we weren't doing is paying for the credential of value on the technical college side. So we implemented that into our funding formula. So now when you go in to get an HVAC, plumbing, electrical, that school is then compensated with that credential of value. We weren't doing that before. So that encourages those schools to get more kids to come in. We're trying to reshape our focus so that it is workforce driven, because really, I mean, that's the reason we go to school. You get out, you get enrichment, and you go get a job.
Yeah. Dr. Castile, I'm not trying to get y'all to fight, or maybe I am. Is it working?
It is working. So I saw Chancellor Hoggard earlier from Louisiana Delta Community College, and we actually have an agreement, an MOU with them to look at 2-and-2 programs. So that direct pathway. So it's not a competition as much as it is a partnership.
I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt. Is that the future?
It is the future.
You get the 2, you get the job, and then you start adding from there.
Well, it depends on the profession.
Okay.
I mean, there's certain programs that I think really lend itself to that type of pathway. Again, education, I think, is a big one. Our teachers, we're already seeing success with the partnership, and I definitely don't want to steal Dr. Hoggard's thunder, but I will tell you, this type of partnership in which you see the 4-year universities working directly with the community and technical colleges, that's what I see is kind of the future. There are programs that I see where you have that direct pathway coming into the 4-year institution, nursing, for example. But there might be ways in which we can parlay that into more of a direct community college and university pathway. So it's not an either or as much as it is an and.
So what does it take to pick up where it leaves off?
It depends on the program again. It's us working together and having that smooth handoff. To me, what I want to see, and I sent a love letter to our community and technical colleges. I invite them on our campus. I want them to see what it's like. So when they come here, they know exactly what it looks like, what classes are come to the football games, come enjoy the campus. So I want that seamless handoff.
How are things at UL Monroe?
They're good.
How's enrollment?
Enrollment is good. Enrollment is steady. We know where we really excel, and we've recalibrated. So in other words, we're going to focus on the programs that we do really, really well. So we're a healthcare, health sciences campus. We have a college of pharmacy. We have construction management. We have our school of business. We have our education programs. So we focus on doing what we do really, really well. So I couldn't be more excited about the future of ULM. I'm bullish.
Well,
I came in here to win, and we're getting ready. In fact, I talked to Coach Vincent last night. We're getting ready to gear up for football season. We've got 6 home games, and I'm ready to cheer on our Warhawks.
Last one before we get you out of here for Misty Cordell, and that's talking about when you're building a regional education to workforce pipeline, you got to pay attention to every region.
Yeah.
Now, it's very easy right now because certain regions are doing better than others, so you have to
Correct.
give them a little bit more love. But what are you doing to make sure that there's no region left behind, no area that is not getting love?
Well, that's something else that we're working on with workforce, and then with the community colleges, and then bringing them into the 4-year degree. That 2+2 is so important. We have so many people that the young paraprofessionals that started out in teaching, they can't afford to leave their jobs. So what this 2+2 has done is use benefits to like wraparound services. They're able to braid together dollars so that they can afford to go to school and still work, earn while you learn, and then go on to a 4-year degree. 49% of our state has only a high school degree or less. So there is so much opportunity to go in and capture our adult learners, get them into these 2+2 programs, and help them thrive and survive too.
Misty Cordell, Dr. Carrie Castile, thank you all so much for a couple minutes this morning.
Sure.
Happy to be here.
We are coming up on 8. We're at 8:15 right now, so we're actually running a little bit long. We just heard about Dr. Hoggart. He's going to be coming up in our next segment, as will Amanda Edge with Entergy. That's coming up in short order here on Talk 107.3.
Oh my God.
All right, Brian, we're back when you're ready. Brian. Brian.
Go, Brian, go.
Oh, we're back. Okay, sorry, we're back. It is 8. What are we at here? 8:18 at Talk 107.3 FM. I'm sorry, y'all. The action's rolling out here at the Monroe Civic Center. So we're going to keep it moving. And we're going to talk a little bit about, we're going to talk about the chambers and community colleges where they meet, building the workforce business needs out there. We are welcoming into the show as we continue to pivot. We've got, give me one more second, Joe. All right, we've got Dr. Justin Hoggard he's the Chancellor of Louisiana Delta Community College, and Amanda Edge, who is, I believe, Customer Service Representative with Entergy and an incoming chair for the Monroe Chamber. Welcome aboard. How y'all doing this morning?
Doing well.
Doing very well as well. Let's get your volume up a little bit.
Thanks for having us.
No, glad to have you all on here. There's a lot going on.
Fortunately, I have a face for radio.
I'm told the same thing. And a voice for print. Yes. So we got a lot going on right now, and one of the themes that seems to be developing here is talking about collaboration. How Richland Parish collaborates with Monroe, collaborates with the state, how Meta collaborates with the community around it. I want to talk about how a chamber collaborates with a community college to help build a product that serves not just the community, but the people attending that college. I tell you, Dr. Hoggard, let's start with you.
Okay.
That's what is the role of the community college in, getting, what is your responsibility in getting with the chamber to say, what do we need?
Well, first, we serve on chamber boards. Like I serve on the West Monroe Chamber. My vice chancellor for public affairs works on the Monroe Chamber, and we have campus directors that are involved in civic organizations and the chambers there. So understanding what the needs are in the area, but working with small businesses and understanding where we're going for the future and just trying to support them and they as us as well.
Mm-hmm.
Being present is a lot of it and hearing what is going on.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're right. We have a lot going on right now.
So, and let's move the same question over to you, Amanda, is that from a chamber's perspective, how do you reach back out and say, where can we make movement in a certain area?
Well, I think it's very important that us as the chamber, we're continuing to talk to our businesses and to find out what their needs are and communicating that with the community college. How can we make sure that we're meeting those workforce needs in the workplace and not just from an education perspective, but from a needs of the workplace?
I would imagine this conversation has to be a serious debate between being reactive and proactive. And I don't know if it's an either or.
It's a both.
It's an all of the above sort of thing to say you have to be reactive to business that's on the books, but you have to be proactive for what's next. And that's not the easiest road to walk because, as a company, how much of NDA has been in the news lately?
Right.
That's like as a company's moving into town, you don't exactly know what's next until it's here. So how do you stay one step ahead of the curve, Dr. Hoggard?
Well, like you said, just working collaboratively and understanding the possibilities. For us recently, they've been a lot of the needs as they apply to the community college have been related to, data centers, fiber optics, energy. So a lot of those programming are interconnected in many ways.
Mm-hmm.
So being able to make sure that we can stand up programs that are multifaceted and have multiple entry points into the workforce helps the chamber, but also being part of the chamber. Like you said, NDAs, who knows exactly what's going to happen, but you understand that you need to be prepared in thinking along certain lines. And I think that's beneficial for everybody.
From a chamber's perspective, you get to be in a lot of the meetings from those that you can't talk about on the back end, but how can you help massage things to see that they're going where they need to be going?
Yeah, well, I think it's part of putting together a board for the chamber is to make sure that those people are involved, those people that are in those discussions. The chamber itself is not necessarily involved in those NDAs in that process.
Right.
However, like Entergy and, Dr. Hoggard and even Dr. Castile are a lot of times involved in those. And so sitting back and listening is a big part of it, and listening to what they have to tell us so that we know which direction to take the chamber in as we move forward.
I think also we have to make a lot of inferences, right? Inferences to say, okay, this, and this. How do we okay, potentially, but having like a contingency plan almost that says, look, here are potential target areas. We
Right.
need to be prepared to either stand up, whether it's a short-term work, like through workforce, or a programmatic need that we could do through a 2-year program.
Yeah, and understanding from a high level what we are as a community,
Right.
you know, and what we're poised for here,
Mhm.
and understanding that allows us to be a little more proactive in what we're bringing to what programs we're bringing.
Well, but even with that, though, like, who would have seen Meta coming, right?
Well, maybe not Meta, but we did know we were poised perfectly for data centers,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
But now, could we have ever imagined what we were going to get? No, but you know, we did see that from the technology perspective and along the I-20 corridor.
How much do national trends play into this? I mean, when you talk about listening, can you listen on a local level and the national level?
Well, I think fortunately for us, and Amanda can correct me if I'm wrong. She likes to do that, but we have our, you know, on the national level, a lot of our representation is from this area, so we have good relationships with them. You know, I'm not privy to anything special, but we at least have some input, and we hear from them frequently.
Mm-hmm.
That's very beneficial.
So, if I'm reading you right, the reactive has to be a quick reactive.
It can be, yeah,
Right.
absolutely. And that's one of the things for the community college, certainly in the short-term certification process.
Sure.
During doing what has been traditionally called workforce development, that's where we are especially poised to make and pivot in those directions.
Well, and I think it's important as we move forward too to not put all of our eggs in one basket.
That's right.
You know,
It's exactly where I was going.
Yes,
next, by the
I
way.
mean, you know, it's to make sure that, you know, if something does happen to Meta years from now, that we're not at a loss in our community, that we're able to continue and not.
You're absolutely right. Somebody said something the other day about Meta. I said, I get it. We think Meta is the only
Right,
game, and
but it's
absolutely
not.
we appreciate that. But we have businesses that have been here for years that we still need to try and help stand up. And there's also there's partnerships for us that we don't have that could benefit the area,
right,
and that we are currently working on.
Well, and it's regardless of Meta's success. I mean,
Right.
if Meta is successful, the spinoff businesses, whatever's next, is still going to be whatever's next. It's not going to be a replicant of the
right.
same thing.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
it's just
And
another
making
area.
sure that they can sustain no matter what.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Pivot.
We're talking with Dr. Justin Hoggard, who may have just had a Friends reference right there, and Amanda Edge. Dr. Hoggard's the chancellor for Louisiana Delta Community College. Amanda's with the we're going to say the incoming chair for the Monroe Chamber. Is your role here today? Let's talk for just a minute, if we could, about what's hot right now. Like, what are students, Dr. Hoggard? What are students gravitating towards right now? Is it directly towards Meta, or do they need to be kind of ushered into that direction?
I mean, obviously, Meta is a player, so yes, we're having a lot of activity there, but we also have longstanding allied health programs and nursing programs.
Mm-hmm.
Given that we serve a rural area, we are particularly challenged in always having that kind of workforce that is not just adequate, but or sufficient, but more than, because we have the 12 northeastern parishes. And so we go from communities that have 3,000 to like Monroe, MSA, that has 150,000. So, we serve a variety of people. So nursing and allied health is a big one. Welding for us is also it's one of our largest programs.
Which I understand cannot, you could just churn students out and they're all hired the next day. I mean, as I understand it.
That's
I'm
correct.
not even sure you get them out. They're hired.
But we also have a teacher shortage, and we have a very strong teaching program, and we have a relationship that I think Dr. Steele mentioned a while ago, that we have a program that we can move students from the 2-year to the 4-year university rather seamlessly, and move that direction. So that's a pretty good.
How strong of a selling point is that? Because I'm putting myself in the mind of a high school graduate, right? Somebody who's just coming out of high school, who, my parents would probably push me towards a 4-year, but I see that money that's out there in very short order. I see that. How popular is the idea of, come over to the community college route. We'll get you a certification, or maybe we'll get you on a 2-year path towards something. Go out and earn, dude. Don't start taking on student loans for college yet. Go out and earn, get a little money in the bank, and then make that pivot.
That's a great point. We, historically the pendulum swings. When we were in the missile crisis, quote,
Right.
we needed more engineers, blah blah blah. So the pendulum swung way one direction. We need 4-year schools. We need this, and that created a glut, right?
Right.
We are in that area, not a glut, but we had a lot of that. But meantime, we're not focusing on what traditionally called technical education. So plumbers, electricians, HVAC, all of millwrights, these kinds of certifications weren't emphasized. Now the pendulum has swung back, and you're exactly right. Parents say frequently to us, this is the pathway. And with partners like ULM, we have we call them stackable, or you scaffold them, so you can get in, get a certificate, and then you can go back to school and part-time while you're working, earning some money and earning a living, and you can scaffold that up and then have pathways into a 4-year where you can maybe run your own business and things like that.
But what we've seen is one of the biggest challenges is changing the parents' mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Is and I come from, it was just assumed that you were going on to college, and even now with my children, it's like, hey, let's look at some other options. There's other options out there now because,
Absolutely.
education has changed.
Unbelievable. We keep going, but we're out of time.
Oh, yeah.
It's so good. That's so good. Dr. Hoggard, Amanda, thank y'all so much for a couple minutes this morning. Great stuff.
Thank you.
Great.
Appreciate
Thank
you having
you.
us.
We're at 8:30 at Talk 107.3 FM. News, traffic, weather. We will continue next.
Straight of Hormuz.
And then we're going to be up in just a minute here. And I do have to knock out one of my live endorsements, and then we'll get into our conversation.
Cool. Check.
And we are on camera.
Yeah, we're on Facebook. Here.
Dead in the center.
Yeah.
You're wrong with that.
All right. Yeah. Same. No. Turns out.
All right, whenever you're ready.
837 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. Mornings with Brian Haldane rolling right along. The great folks from the city of Monroe have brought us up here to the Monroe Civic Center for the LMA conference. We're been going at it for the last 2.5 hours now. We got to about 23 minutes to go in today's show, and we'll be right back at it tomorrow as well, as we're covering the LMA conference from pretty much every angle possible. Want to welcome to the show Candace Hunter-Sanders and Joey Trappe. Candace is a healthcare leader with, I'm not reading all those letters. How many letters do you have behind it? Look at that. That is
You have to read all of them.
APRN, FMP-C, AGACNP, BC. That is like I'm playing Scrabble.
Yes.
I need a few more vowels, but I think I can make some words here.
Yes, for short, just nurse practitioner.
Okay. All right. Well, then that's where we'll go from there. Joey is a workforce housing developer and owner. He also owns the Fieldhouse Bar and Grill. How are you this morning?
All right. Thanks for having
I
me.
was told, or you were telling me during the break, you own some man camps out in West Texas.
Yes.
Okay. So this is going to start the conversation to bring it back around to Baton Rouge.
Okay.
I'm sure a lot of folks watch Show Landman.
Right.
I have not seen it yet. The clips look great.
Yeah.
But there are similarities between
Yeah.
what you do out there and what you see on that show.
Yes. I mean, it's workforce housing
Mhm.
that we're providing out there. And just the word man camp is a term used often.
Mhm.
It's basically wraparound services for oil field or workforce groups that provide rooms that have bathrooms in them with full service kitchens and workout facilities. So it's a safe and fun place for guys to stay when they're out in the middle of the desert.
How translatable is that to other fields? I mean, we see it
Yeah.
in the oil
Yeah.
business, but like, let's say some of the things that are going on in Louisiana. How translatable is that to businesses been coming to town?
Yeah, absolutely. We have 4 developments here in Rayville, Delhi, Holly Ridge, Bee Bayou, and we focused on what's called a park model home. Park model homes are what you would probably refer to as a tiny house. They're built to
Okay.
ANSI code, and they can go into RV parks.
Okay.
So they're very versatile, and we're having a lot of success with them right now because they're more of a boutique style. They feel like a little apartment.
Mhm.
They're on wheels. They're 400 square feet. They hook up to a 50 amp breaker, so you can really move them around the country. If the job ends and the customer needs them to move to Arkansas, you just go find RV spots that are ready to roll. You plug and play, and you're housing people with full kitchens and living rooms and private bed, private bath. Again, the companies are really enjoying that as an alternative to hotels.
Candace, I want to pivot the conversation over to you here because it's going to set the table for where we're going, not where we're at. Within the healthcare space, how adaptable do we need to be right now to where the future is with people who are communities that can pop up? I mean, we here in Monroe, we've got Monroe, but we've also got a lot of rural surrounding areas as well. So where is healthcare headed on that front to adapt to changing needs?
Healthcare is the needs in healthcare are changing rapidly, as you can imagine. We're growing rapidly. I think we all, knew the idea of what was happening, but did not realize what was going to come with it. And so we have boots on the ground here in Monroe with our local hospitals and our surrounding rural areas that we serve. And we're working together. We're always analyzing, strategizing, and making sure that we can meet the healthcare needs for the demands. And one of the things is making sure we have facilities. So all of our local hospitals and
clinics are making sure that we have staff, that we're staffing appropriately so that we can take care of the needs of our communities.
One of the things that we're seeing though is when you see like a Meta move in or down in Ascension Parish when Hyundai moves in, you'll get a super quick injection of a number of people. Now that changes numbers overall. I mean, when you're planning communities, you plan out hospital beds and whatnot, you plan out urgent cares, you plan out primary cares. When you see a quick injection like that, how tough is the turnaround to see the reaction from the medical world?
What I will say is it has been a challenge, but we as a community, one thing I'll say about Monroe is we come together in times of need. The nursing schools, we have a lot of nursing schools around our areas, and so they are putting out the nurses, they're pulling out the quality. And so what we're doing on the back end is making sure that we are acting quickly and going in at the beginning to make sure that we have the staff that we need, that we're getting the nurses, we're getting the support staff, that we're reaching out to physicians when they're in residency to get them prepared to come to want to be in Monroe to work at our facilities to take care of our patients. So we're going in and we're making committees that is their number one focus. How do we get people before they even get out of school to commit to come here to help us? And in the meantime, we offer incentives so that we can have good morale where people want to come and, they want to pick up those extra shifts and stuff like that. So just a lot of planning, a lot of talking and meetings of the mind constantly.
Absolutely. Joey, I want to pivot back to you here and talk about when you're talking about to build out the tiny homes and whatnot.
Yeah.
How does that reflect into a community? How does that adapt into a community? Because it feels temporary.
Yep.
But at the same time, it's there.
Well, I think it's all, it's generating commerce. You bring in, like for us, we have 350 beds in the market. So that's 350 people that are commercing in Delhi or in Rayville or in West Monroe. What's happening right now with Meta is they're bringing 6,000 to 7,000 people not from here into a community. We don't have the inventory between rental properties and hotels to support that. So you're seeing a lot more of RV parks. A lot of the workforce are bringing in RVs. They're living in RVs, but you have a lot of people that are coming with no RVs, and companies are having to house them. Battling sleep and fuel are all of a sudden an issue. So the closer to the site you can be, the better sometimes. But sometimes they're wanting to remove themselves from the site and be closer to West Monroe. We have a property in West Monroe that we just brought online a year and a half ago that is doing really well. We have opportunity to grow there. We still have 20 more cabins to build, but the park model homes are being received really well. They're brand new. They're not worn out gear being hauled in from Canada. And like I said, it gives more of a boutique style feel, which makes the customer, the tenant, feel a little bit more at home rather than just walking into a 20 by 20 space. You lay down in your bed, you wake up, you leave. This way you have a full kitchen, you have a full fridge, freezer, you can cook your own meals. Hotels are great and all, but you can, after about 10 days in one, you're ready to break free.
And that's why they come out with the extended stay hotels, and then this would be beyond the extended stay hotel. Right. And I love the fact that once it's packed up and gone, there's an RV park left in its wake.
Correct.
Like that's you're not leaving scorched earth behind it. You've got a viable business model that comes in the wake of it.
Yep.
So very cool stuff. I want to go back to Candace real quick. We're talking about future ready communities. There's no way we don't talk technology. And this is a huge thing in the medical world. And in Louisiana, we've been doing a ridiculously awesome job of installing broadband throughout a lot of the rural communities. How much does that play into the future ready community to know that not only do you have the manpower in a particular area, but you have the tech built out in a particular area to service those who are going to be, going that telehealth route because they're new to an area?
I think you hit on it, and we are optimizing on that, and it's going to make a tremendous difference because everything we do now in healthcare is basically electronic because that's how you build continuity of care, right? So if I need to get some records from someone who is coming in with, Meta or for a job and they're in Texas, how do I get their records in a timely manner? Well, we have to have the technology for it. And so, we are utilizing that and making sure that those things are in place and that we are implementing them in our healthcare system to make sure that we are able to provide optimum care for anybody that comes to the area.
Did I just back my way into you talking about the need for the data center in the first place?
I got him. Sounds like they need housing.
Exactly. Exactly. We just got a minute or so left. So let's talk about beyond the temporary and how the community builds out after that. What role would y'all play in how things are shaped once the building's done, once the construction part's done?
Yeah, well, myself, I own multiple restaurants in town, so that's a huge economic impact for me. And from the housing standpoint, I think it just provides an unbelievable amount of growth opportunity for the city. We have to have some investors see the vision and make some kind of leaps of faith, knowing that the come is coming,
Right.
and being prepared. And it's almost the model of if you build it, they will come. We know they're coming, so jump out ahead, take a little bit of chance on the front end, and it'll pay big dividends on the back.
And on the healthcare perspective, I would assume for a future ready community, I mean, we talked about the tech end, but it's a little bit easier to map out what's on the longer end from a healthcare perspective.
It is, but what I think is, as we said, because things are happening so fast, it's causing us as a healthcare entity to think outside of the box.
Right.
And so what that's going to do is that's going to push us outside of our normal comfort, but we'll find new ways to do things and things that we didn't think about. And then those things will be in place for the future. And so it will help us come up with new ways of doing things and new ways of thinking about how do you provide medicine and what does that look like. And those things will only make us better in the future.
Yeah. And probably 80% of that is demand or I should say workforce.
Yes.
So very good stuff, y'all.
Yep.
We are just about out of time. We've got Candace Hunter-Sanders with us and Joey Treppe. Thank y'all so much for stopping in for a couple minutes this morning.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
Of course. We've got Your Money Now coming up in just a little bit. We are just over a minute away from Your Money Now. And I need to remind you before we get to Your Money Now about what to do with some of your money right now. It is Wednesday, which means the new deals are out at Mathern's. The deal of the week this week is an 18-count pack of Eggland's Best Eggs is just $2.49. You clip the coupon on the app. You clip all the coupons on the app. When you go to check it out, they scan your barcode. It does all the mathing for you. And, oh, by the way, you earn cash towards more groceries every time you shop at all locations of Mathern's. Now, I love telling you about all locations of Mathern's. I love telling you about downtown on 3rd Street. Love telling you about Highland Road just west of Kenilworth. But right now I want to focus on the Nicholson Gateway Shopping Center that is directly across the street from Tiger Stadium. It is just about time for students to get back on campus. So parents of LSU students, listen up. Swing by Nicholson, pick up a gift card, load up the gift card. You don't want to have to worry that your kid's not getting fed all semester. They've got you covered over at Mathern's, and we're going to kind of double down on this. Not only do you want to pick them up a gift card, but you want to remind your LSU student that with their student ID and the Mathern's Rewards app, they're getting 10% off every time they shop at Mathern's. So, number one, give them the gift card. Number two, give them that 10% discount so the gift card goes even further. That's at the LSU location of Mathern's. It's 8:50 at Talk 107.3 FM. Here is Your Money Now.
We're out.
Facebook, what's happening? Oh. So, Bree Lynn, what happened at 8:15? Was the break only like a minute long?
No, it was the right length.
Okay. Because, I mean,
Yeah,
it was
the right length.
It was under 2 minutes that I was like up. So, but
I know. It was the right length.
all right. Not sure then. But I did get a couple of nuggets of information that are going to be valuable in the coming days. So, did I get all my lives in? Industry makes. Jeez. The Louisiana Family Forum sent out their 2026 legislative scorecard. It is black ink on a black background. I don't know who can read this. Unreal. All right, I gotta ask Facebook. Have y'all seen Hacks on HBO Max? Gene Smart is a stand-up comedian. Because there's just mayors everywhere at this thing, and I can't help. I'm just stuck thinking about the mayor of Las Vegas in the show.
Coming back in.
Okay.
When you're ready.
Okay. 8:56 Talk 107.3 FM WBRP. One segment to go here on Mornings with Brian Haldane as we're wrapping up our first day of coverage of the Louisiana Municipal Association's annual conference. It's been a little Monroe heavy and meta heavy this morning, and you know what? That is totally by design. Want to get you a closer look at what's going on up in this corner of the state as we're seeing growth and we're seeing it happen. You're hearing the stories from the people telling the stories. You're hearing the stories from the people who are in it. And there's a lot of excitement surrounding what's going on up here. Tomorrow, just to kind of tee up the show a little bit, tomorrow we are going to talk about, we're going to talk with the mayor of Sterlington. We're going to talk with the mayor of West Monroe. We are going to talk with, Ashley Ellis. That's Mayor Friday Ellis's wife. Talking about, we're going to talk about education and workforce with her tomorrow. We're going to have a number of folks from Entergy coming on the show. Stuart Cassidy is supposed to join us tomorrow as he's about to qualify to run in the 5th Congressional District. A number of great topics tomorrow, and it will be all, surrounding growing regions, growing cities, and how to take advantage of the most of what's out there to offer. So good stuff lined up for tomorrow. If you missed any of today's show, it'll be available online at talk1073.com. Before we get you out of here, I got to remind you about the folks over at Industry Makes, industrymakes.org. As you look up and down the river and you see the industries that employ our neighbors and you see the industries that create the products that keep the world running, that's industrymakes.org. That's who they're speaking up for at industrymakes.org. They are the return serve, if you will, when protests pop up, when complaints arise, when you start to see the crazies on the internet be the crazies on the internet. That's where you get industrymakes.org to be that factual information, that the go-to for the straight up facts is at industrymakes.org. Not enough time for us to get in with another guest this morning. There is, however, enough time for me to give a quick little reminder. Our news partners at WAFB have this. Out in Ascension Parish, Highway 73 will be closed between Mackey and Manchac Landing Court today. The road's north and southbound lanes will both be fully closed coming up in about 2 minutes, 9 a.m. to noon. In fact, it might already be closed right now if they're going to go ahead and get started. State officials, state transportation officials with DOTD said motorists are encouraged to plan, expect delays, and use an alternate route if possible. Like I said, this is for a scheduled bridge inspection. So for the next handful of hours, Highway 73 out in Ascension Parish, Highway 73 from Mackey Road to Manchac Landing Court, going to be shut down for just a little bit. That is going to do it for us, y'all. We're all done for this morning. We got Moon Griffon coming your way next. The Brian Kilmeade Show headed your way at noon. And then, of course, they'll Kilmeade hands off to Dave Ramsey, who hands off to Eric Erickson. We will be back at it tomorrow. I cannot thank enough Mayor Friday Ellis in the city of Monroe for having me in for 2 back-to-back days. Y'all, it's dead serious. When you roll into Monroe, you can feel a little bit of the energy around here. I'm going to take a little bit of today to do some exploring around the city to see what the city has to offer, and we'll report back tomorrow. We'll talk to you then. Thanks. We clear?
Yep, we're clear.
Awesome. Facebook, we got to bounce. We will see you tomorrow. Later.